Now rocking with the hottest boxing podcast in the land with your host, Coach Malachi Williams.
True. True.
Salute to everybody, man. Peace of the family, man. Hit the soundboard on accident. Had the damn phone on it, man. Peace of the family, man. What's going on? Let me make sure before I get started. I always got to make sure do a sound check. Let me see what's up. Before I get started. Oh, okay. So we did the sound check. The sound check good. The sound check Gucci. All right, cool. It is what it is. Listen, I remember this past Sunday. We got a guest coming on today. We got my main man, Steve Kim, will be on the show today. Steve Kim will be on the show at the top of the hour. You know, I haven't had Steve on here in a minute. You know what I mean? I haven't had Steve on here in a minute, man. And real smart guy when it come to boxing, man. Like I love talking to Steve because Steve, because of his boxing knowledge, we get to hear a lot of the stories. There's stories that he know. He does a great Manny Stewart impersonation. The Korean Kosel. He does a great Manny Stewart impersonation, and he's very, very knowledgeable. Like you had the fans online, they think they know boxing, the business and all that shit there, and he know that shit. You see what I'm saying? Like he know that shit. He well reputable. You know what I mean? Just all around solid guy. I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? Like I say, proud of me coming on YouTube. A lot of shit I don't know what was going on, how it was going down and stuff like that. I used to watch different channels and stuff from time to time, but for the most part, I wasn't in on the scene like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, so it is what it is. Here, Steve will be here on the top of the hour. So I need to say what I need to say before I get him on the show. You dig? Anyways, yeah, man, once we get to 100 done, today gonna be a good show, man. Today gonna be a good show. Shout out to Lou, shout out to Daniel. They're going to be a good show. Y'all share this show, man. We throwing fastballs.
True.
We throwing fastballs today. I am not playing. Not playing today. Not playing today either. You see what I'm saying? They say we ain't going to lighten up. We going to tighten up. You see what I'm saying? I mean, just back to the situation. It is what it is at this point. However, Chris Mannix, good white man, good white folks, right? And when I say that, I be very, very sarcastic because, it's funny to me, like on YouTube, when you're dealing with the fan bases, because it's so segregated. Like everybody got their own little cliques. I'm team this fighter. I'm team that fighter. This channel. I'm team this fighter. I'm team that fighter. Right. So what you see is you have fans who have started channels who basically are fans of a certain fighter. Okay, I get that, and they push that favorite fighter content. Cool. And then you'll have guys who hate a certain fighter and they'll push that I hate that certain fighter content, right? Cool. And then you have the different audiences and fan bases and this and that. And that's pretty much how I go down, right? So, me personally, I'm loving this shit. I'm loving it. I'm loving all of it. I love all. I love the drama. I love the fake outrage. I love the tabloid shit. I love the just all the shit. Just all of it. You see what I'm saying? The influencer boxing fans, the fanagers, the promoters, you know what I mean? The fanagers and promoters, the fanager he know how to negotiate contracts while unemployed at home. I haven't figured that out. So you haven't figured out how to get a good paying job that's going to pay you the type of money that you need in order to live the type of lifestyle that you want to live. You ain't figured that shit out yet, but you know how to negotiate contract stuff. Okay, cool. I get it. I got you. No problem. So it's a lot of that going on, right? And I think that we have stumbled across something on yesterday. We got over 100 in this chat. Let's give everybody a round of applause. I think what we have done is this. I think we figured it out. Like the millennial boxing class is totally different than the boxing class that came before not the millennials, my bad. The Gen Z boxing class are totally different, the Gen Zers, from the boxing class that came before them. They have a different mentality, they have a different mindset, and their heart is different. You know, like there's a saying, they say there's levels to this, there's levels to having heart. Let's throw that out there. The most basic level of having heart in boxing, which is the most important part, to be fair, is the willingness to be able to step in the ring. I stepped in the ring. Cool. Now, just because you step in the ring don't mean you good, but you stepped in the ring. So having the heart to step in the ring is commendable. Some of us have done amateurs, like I've done. Some of us are good, some of us wasn't, you know. Some of us have went on to become pros and been successful. Some of us have been able to go pros and not that good, because most guys in boxing don't make that much money. Most guys in boxing have 9-to-5 jobs. That's why I always laugh when I hear these people, and you know, like Oscar De La Hoya or whatever. Yeah, you know, yeah, these other guys, they're not paying the fighters. We care about the fighters. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but we just interviewed Jaleel Hackett yesterday, and he said Eddie Hearn dropped him like a bad habit after his first loss. So if they care about the fighters, why are y'all dropping the fighters? If you care about the fighters and you want to make sure they get paid all this money, why Nair Albright is a full-time nurse in Philadelphia right now? Full-time nurse. Literally. Part-time R&B singer. They say he doing backup for New Edition right now. You know, when New Edition performing and Bobby Brown having an off night, they say Nair Albright be in the back behind the curtain, you know what I mean, just singing Bobby Brown parts. I'm just saying. I like to blow all that shit up. Before you shit on one company and say, well, this company ain't doing this and doing that. Okay, well, tell me before this company came in the game, why all these dudes ain't got nothing? Why them dudes ain't active? Why this dude stuck in the contract? Why this dude sitting on the shelf? Why this, you know what I mean? You just gonna turn a blind eye to all of that. No problem. To this day. Anyways. Shout out to Green Eyes P. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a dub. She said, Coach, can you give my friend Tracy a happy birthday? Shout out, please. Yeah, happy birthday to Tracy. Happy birthday to Tracy. You know what I mean? Happy birthday to Tracy. I don't know how old she is, but happy birthday to her. You know what I mean? I will play Luke, but you know, it's copywritten music. I will play Luke, it's copywritten music. I ain't gonna do that to her. You know what I mean? I hit it with the $5.
Got change for $5.
Huh?
You got some change for $5. Got change for $5.
Got it.
Chain me.
All right.
Man, give my $5.
All right, bro.
Man, give my $5, man. Give my $5. Give my $5. I'm gonna kill you, bitch. Give my motherfucking $5, man. Man, stop playing me, man. Give me $5. I'm gonna tell you got it $5. I'm gonna tell you got it $5.
Like, damn, he cried like that by $5. Just imagine what he would have did for $20. Shit, I know how it is. When it's your last, it's your last. You dig? To this day. Yeah, when it's your last, it's your last. I gotta turn this light up. This light too dark. Y'all hold on 1 minute. Let me turn the light up a little bit. Okay, light. All right, that's it. Yeah, that's a little bit better now. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Shit, nigga did that by $5, boy. Shit. Motherfucker might get a life sentence by $20. if he would have had that chopper, that whole car would have been wet up. You see what I'm saying? Anyways, yeah. So what I think we were spot on yesterday. We were spot on yesterday by saying this generation of fighters, the Gen Z generation, we talking about the Gen Z generation, you know, we're going to say from 2000 all the way up to now. They came up this is the TikTok generation. This is the Instagram generation of boxing. This is the Twitter generation of boxing. You get what I'm saying? So that generation is totally different than the Hagler generation, the Sugar Ray generation, the Roy Jones generation, the James Toney generation, the Pretty Boy Floyd and Oscar De La Hoya and Tito Trinidad and Pernell Whitaker. The Gen Z generation is different from any era of boxers in the history of boxing. Talking about here in America, I'm talking about American boxing. I have never, bro, I'm telling you, bro, I talk to guys who are boxing historians, people who we gonna have one come on the show at the top of the hour, who know this sport, been watching it for years, covering it, work for the network, study, like know this shit. And they even tell me, man, I ain't seen that like this here. This shit is strange. And the motherfuckers who run and motherfuckers who are here now, they talking to you like, yeah, dog, you don't know what you talking about. Yeah, that's the old day, dog. You ain't gotta be fighting all them tough ass nigga, dog. You know what I'm saying? We already know I win. Like, bro, like this is the only era that I know. Bro, I have never seen that like this before in my life. This is the only era of boxing to where you can be on the pound for pound list. You automatically declare the best fighter because you got other fighters giving you, who don't even box anymore, giving you a stamp of approval. Well, we already, you don't have to fight all these other dudes because we already know, just based on the eye test of your skills, that you already beat those guys. Hypothetical boxing matches. Yeah, we ain't got to fight him, dog, because we already know that you gonna whoop him. You that good. You that nice. You the best in the world. He the best in the world? Yeah, who he fought? Well, he ain't really got to fight all of them because we know what he'll do to him, so he ain't got to fight him. And we know what he'll do to him because he ain't got to fight him. We already know what he gonna do. So really, hypothetically, he really kind of already don't fought them dudes. He don't beat them because there's an overall consensus amongst us streaming boxing fans and amongst us influencer boxing fans that he already win.
True.
Boy, hey Mason, I ain't never seen nothing like this before in my life. Never. I've never seen nothing like this. Anyways, I digress. Let's get into the show. Let's get into it. Chris Mannix, good white folk. I think he was on there with Chris Mannix was talking to Sergio Mora, you know what I mean? We're talking to both of them, two good white folks. And I gotta say that. The reason why I gotta say that, you guys know I have a master's degree in sarcasm. I say that is because, when Bill Haney say some stuff, we can't believe him because he's black. That's one. And then two, he's a capper. That's three. That's two. That's what everybody say. And three, even though he's in the negotiating room, negotiating with DAZN, negotiating with Top Rank, negotiating with whoever he negotiate with to make some of the best deals possible for his son. The guy that's in there doing the negotiations, we can't believe him. We have to wait till the guy who's on the outside, who has to ask somebody on the inside what's going on. Then he'll report it and say, well, according to his sources, we talk about like Dan Rayfield, Chris Mannix, Sergio Moore, just all those guys. Yeah, just, according to my sources. Well, I know the source. I talk to the source. I can talk to them. Yeah, we don't want to believe the source. We want to believe the white folks who report what's going on with the source.
True.
So I said, okay, cool. So what I'm going to do from this point forward, I'm going to always reference good white folks. I ain't gonna, cause I know that's what y'all respect. We ain't gonna reference nobody blacks. Definitely Bill Haney. We ain't reference nothing he said. Anything going on with the business of DHP or any of these other guys, we're not gonna reference them. We waiting on good white folk to say something about it. So I found a good one. And I told you guys, I told somebody Sunday about this. We did the show on it yesterday, but I told somebody Sunday, I said, yeah, man, I spoke to the people over at the top right. They say, man, they're finna put this boy on the shelf. They're going to honor the contract. But honoring the contract means something. I'm going to tell you something. Chris Mannix confirms Top Rank doesn't owe Keyshawn Davis another fight until May 2027. Coach Malachi didn't confirm this. Bill Haney didn't confirm this. Anybody affiliated with the fighter that you don't like didn't confirm this. I'm pretty sure y'all ain't gonna go over there and leave all them crazy comments to the good white man, what my main man name? Chris Mannix. You know what you talking about. Oh, fuck that, Chris. Pull up. Matter of fact, drop the addy. You don't know what you talking about. Stop hating on doggone Keyshawn. Y'all ain't gonna say none of that to him. No problem.
To this day.
He lied. He capping. They never say the white man capping. Never. I didn't realize that. I know that. Anyways, special guest Steve Kim will be on the show today at the top of the hour. Let me go ahead and read my opening monologue. I got to get close because I can't see because the letters are too small. In a recent interview with boxing reporter Chris Mannix and Sergio Amora, Chris confirms what I told the TMP family yesterday, right? That Top Rank Promotions plan to sit Keyshawn Davis out and put him on the shelf. However, Chris did confirm that Top Rank doesn't owe Keyshawn Davis another fight until May 2027. Because he had a fight this year already. He had a fight in May already, right? So they can say, okay, well, you know what? We have to at least give you one fight a year. I think he had a fight in May already, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But, they at least got to give him a fight at least once a year. Well, I tell you what, baby boy. You ain't want the $3 million that we were paying your broke ass because you barely made $1 million, you know what I mean, since we've been paying. You know what I'm saying? So you made that deal. And now we try to pay you 3 times more than what you was worth. And you wanna grandstand on a nigga and waste our time and shine and air climb and all that shit there and flodge on a nigga, right? Okay, no problem. You gonna give us your natural black ass a kiss. Okay, no problem. I tell you what, baby boy. Just go ahead and chill a little bit there. You know what I mean? I know you got a lot of options. You know what I mean? You the business man. Okay, no problem. I know y'all trying to run cover right now. No problem. But I tell you what, baby boy, just handle that. See, can you pull a Machiavelli? Can you pull a Machiavelli and get up out of this contract?
True.
Pull a Machiavelli. Let's see how much of a genius you is. And see, can you get up out of this here? Let's see how much of a genius you is. Let's see that there, right? Entitled. This generation is the most entitled group of fighters I've ever seen in my life. They don't want to work for shit. They feel that they come out the womb thinking they supposed to, my nigga, listen, dog, nigga, where that Bentley at? Nigga, what's happening? They think because they put on a pair of gloves, they automatically, they should get paid $4-5 million, $6 million. And then they say some of the dumbest shit. I want to get paid what I'm worth. And then when you ask them the magic question, how do you determine your worth? They'll come back and say some dumb shit like, man, I'm putting my life on the line. Okay, you are putting your life on the line by choice. When you chose to fight when you was a teenager in the amateurs, you did that by choice. When you was a little kid and you was fighting back then, you did that by choice. When you voluntarily went to the Olympics, you was putting your life on the line. You did that by choice. This situation is no different than the other situations that you have been putting yourself in over the years since you've been a pro. And the other guy that you're fighting, Nair Albright, put his life on the line. When you went talking about, yeah, man, and that guy is overly matched. My skill set is better than his. He putting his life on the line. A tomato can, a guy who get paid just to beat up every day, puts his life on the line more than any crying ass so-called elite fighter.
True.
The reason why is because the tomato can doesn't have the privilege to pick and choose who he wants to fight. The spoiled, entitled Gen Z American fighter, he has the privilege to pick and choose who he wants to fight, and then at the same time want to control the narrative to try to get everybody to think, pump fake, that he is a killer. Man, you ain't killed nobody. Nigga, you've been fighting nurses, you've been fighting washed up Ukrainians, you've been fighting Billy Bob Thorntons, Hobo Sams, you fought you fought a Puerto Rican or two or something like that there, but you ain't fighting nothing on the caliber that you are allegedly supposed to be on. So when you say you were a superstar, nigga, based on what? You a superstar based on what? You know what I mean? And it ain't, I'm gonna tell you something. It ain't this fault. It ain't, it's really, you know who fault it is? I'm gonna tell you who fault it is. It's the guys who came before them, cause they got these little young writing. He up under my wang. I'm gonna put him up under my wang. WANG. I'm gonna put him up under my wang, and I'm gonna make him a little bro, and you know what I mean. Make him a cousin, and whatever. I'm gonna give him the stamp of approval. Let everybody know. Let everybody know that you the next big pork chop. You the next big hog head cheese. You the next big piece of chicken on the plate. And I'm like, okay, this how this works. I'm going to tell you how this works. This how it's always worked. In the history of combat sports, in the history of sports in general, in order for there to be a conclusion on who the best is, the top guys have to play each other, fight each other. That's how it's always been, right? You can't claim the fame without putting in the work. And the social media era, this is the shortcut era, right? This is the remedial era. We need to call it the social remedial era. Matter of fact, let me write that down. I just made that shit up. Somebody gonna be saying it, but y'all know y'all got it from here first. Let's write this down, y'all. The social, you got the media era, right? Social media era, the social remedial or remedial era. This is the social remedial era. So you have the social media era. See, you can't write this shit. See, this ain't no script. This just coming out of me, just coming out off the top of the dome. This ain't no script. I just came up with this shit. We have the social media era. And now we are entering into the social remedial era. You just learned that right here today.
True.
Shout out to Amaro. You just learned that. You just learned that right here today. The social remedial era. They so sensitive, they get hurt, oh man, I don't like this. Why you said that? My feelings hurt. Nigga, I come from the generation I come from, we don't give a fuck about your feelings. Feelings. What are those? Feelings. What are those? I'm just, yeah, nigga, I'm gonna pull up. You are? I'm gonna hit the clock. Okay, nigga ain't pulled up time. Nigga ain't pulled up yet. Nigga been saying he gonna pull up since 2021. I ain't seen a nigga yet. You sure? All right, man. That what you say, man. Anyway, back to what I was saying. In a recent interview with Boston reporter Chris Mannix, Chris Mannix confirmed what I told you guys already. The TMP family, that Top Rank Promotions plans to sit Keyshawn Davis. And not only that, he confirmed that they don't owe him another fight until to May of 2027. That's what they're contractually bound to do. So according to if they would decide to go to the letter of the contract, you know what, baby boy, don't even worry about it. You had a fight so far this year already. Good, you did good. I hope you didn't blow that money. Don't worry about it, baby boy. Don't worry about it. We tried to get you another fight. You put too much shit in on us and the zone, and you put the Machiavelli and you disappear. So when Bill Haney say, man, you avoiding phone calls and you ain't doing this and doing that, but you came up the video, yeah, man, what you talking about? I know everything that's going on. Everything. I know everything that's going on. I know what's going on. I don't need you, old head. Old head, stop calling me. The old head was trying to make sure you get the money that you wanted. You shitted on the old head, so don't worry about it. Go deal with them good white folks at the zone. At Top Rank. Oh, they ain't give you what you wanted. Now, but guess what? The old head. Remember the old head? Yeah, that guy.
To this day.
That guy. He's an old head for a reason. I don't know how many birthdays, because you young niggas don't live long, so maybe you probably won't live to become an old head. More than likely, you probably won't. But, because y'all make mockery of the old heads, but guess what? You got to keep breathing to become an old head. I know you young niggas, y'all take pride in not becoming an old head. Y'all wear that as a badge of honor. Okay, cool. Anyways, however, as I said before, if this is the case, Keyshawn might need to start streaming and become a content creator. He got a YouTube channel already. Go hook up with AB Dean the Greater. Go hook up with his other brother. What the dude name? Ryan Garcia. Go over there and kiss his ass. Yeah, Ryan, you ain't raising me. I'm just saying them niggas be tripping, dog. I know you a real one. Might as well, do something in between time. Naia Albright got a job as a nurse, full-time nurse, part-time boxer. You got to do something, baby boy. Start streaming. Because y'all talk all this shit about content creators, but guess what? All the sports figures, and then in boxing, it seemed like all of them want to be content creators. They want to be the very same people who they were shitting on just yesterday.
True.
Woo! I can't believe it. Welcome to the dark side. Come on over here to the dark side, boy. Anyways, the magnificent business move pretty much has earned Keyshawn Davis the top spot on being on the shelf. Pretty much the top spot of being on the shelf, right? Thanks to Jay Prince, Shakur Stevenson, and Keyshawn Davis, right? I've also heard rumors that Keyshawn unfollowed his manager, Jay Prince. Now, I ain't got no proof of none of that, right? Somebody, I saw a tweet. Somebody said that screenshotted it. Yeah, man, he unfollowed Jay Prince. Yeah, see, this is what boxing has come to. Yeah, dog, American boxing. Yeah, dog, you know he unfollowed Jay Prince. He did? Yeah, listen, we could do a show just on that alone, and it's gonna do great numbers. Cause what's gonna happen, all of the streaming boxing fans that's here and all of the influencer boxing fans that's here, that's pretty much along the lines of what they want to talk about. He unfollowed them, man, cause motherfucker won't follow. Yeah, dog, he unfollowed them, dog. Why he unfollowed him? I thought he was his manager. He is, but I think that he had gave Keyshawn the wrong advice. See, what happened was Keyshawn was offered $3 million for, that was chump change pennies. Like dudes who ain't never made $5 at one time is having live debates, arguments about $3 million being chump change and crumbs, and he should get paid what he worth. And then with my basic GED education, when I asked the follow-up question, you say he should get paid what he's worth. Yeah. Okay, what is he worth? He worth more than $3 million. Okay, let's dig a little deeper. No, did he? How do you come to the conclusion that he is worth more than $3 million? How did you come to that conclusion? What you mean? How did I come to that conclusion? Let me say it again. How did you come to that conclusion? 3 unsyllable word. Well, he popular. Popular where? What you mean popular where? You said he was popular where? Well, they talk about him on Twitter. He friends with Keyshawn. That gotta count for something. That's about 2-3 million right there. I'm like, sir, listen, Mr. Mr. Remedial, sir. That's not how this works. So let me rephrase the question. How did you get? Can you show me some financial metrics? Meaning, what has he been paid in the past? What has his ticket sales been like? Pay-per-views or whatever. To give me some financial, give me some economic metrics to support your claim. Well, Brian Norman made $3.5 million. Okay, sir, Brian Norman. Well, I don't know why y'all keep talking about Brian Norman. Brian Norman at home chilling, doing his thing, and some reason he keep getting pulled up in this conversation. I'm talking about you. You deflected talking about somebody else. Stay focused. So I need you to stay right here. Don't look to the left. Don't look to the left. Don't look to the right. I need you to stay right here. Okay, how did you come up with that conclusion? Well, I feel like, let me start right there. That's the problem. You said you feel like, and your feelings are based on nothing financial or economic. Your feelings are based on how you feel about the situation from I like him or whatever. When I started asking you basic mathematical questions, what can you show me some comps? Show me something he did in the past that justify this type of number. Okay, cool. So no problem. They can't. That's how you body him. You got to break it down real slow to them now, because they got to break it down real slow. And when you start breaking it down real slow to like a second or third grade level, then they get to thinking. When they go to looking to the right, looking to the left, and they go to doing this, then they turn their eyes away from the camera, then they go to rubbing their chin or scratching their head. When they go to doing that, that's when you know you got them. To this day. Anyways, American boxers with around 15 professional fights who are making $3 million or more, you know what I mean? This is a very, very extremely short list. Pretty much never. So I looked up some stuff. I looked up some stuff myself, right? So I say, based on what's publicly available information, right? There are essentially no American boxers with only 15 professional fights who are consistently earning $3 million guaranteed purses. We're not talking about $4 million, $5 million, $6 million. Let's deal with the 3. What nigga do you know that have 15 professional fights making $3 million or more? I'll wait.
True.
Damn, I see Marvelous Marvin Hagler right there. I got Hagler right there, man. My favorite fighters of all time. One of them. Got Mike Tyson right there. Shit, I got all the comedians right there. I got Bubba Chuck. I got motherfucking AI and Kobe right there. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crickets right now. Crickets! I digress. Here's how it all breaks down. Fighters, I looked it up. Fighters, pro fights who make about $3 million plus purses. Keyshawn Davis, yada, 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 right? Okay, so cool. So the most money Keyshawn has ever made, what's being reported, is $1 million. That's it. He was supposed to allegedly get paid 1.5 to fight Edward De Los Santos. We saw how that worked out. So he never got paid that money because they didn't fight. Edward got paid something. Top Rank had to take care of that. ASAP Rocky. And they also had to take care of Nair Albright for the situation that happened to him when he was in Virginia. I digress. The first time, right? So I went to looking, right? Jaleel Hackett has 14 professional fights. He ain't making $3 million. He got one fight less than Keyshawn Davis. He ain't making $3 million. I digress. Brian Norman Jr., he had 30 plus fights before he made $3.5 million fighting Devin Haney. 30 plus fights, if I'm not mistaken. Jerron Boots Ennis, he had 36 professional fights. 36. Something like that. He had 30-something professional fights. Because I think he got like 37 or 38 fights right now with Eddie Hearn. When he got with Eddie Hearn, I think Eddie bumped him up. He started making $3 million a fight, which is good money. $3 million ain't nothing to sneeze at. Motherfuckers who broke talking about $3 million chump change. Nigga, is you crazy? In what world is $3 million chump change? Now, yeah, he got his expenses to pay, but guess what? However you got your contract structure, that's on you. But the $3 million, $3 million ain't no chump change, no goddamn well. Ain't nobody gonna convince me of that. There's a whole lot of jobs motherfuckers doing, they putting their life on the line. Construction workers who are building skyscrapers, who be high up on a skyscraper on a scaffold, they put their life on the line every day. They ain't getting paid no $3 million or more because I'm putting my life on the line. What about the electrician who get his ass up on that pole and deal with electrical wires and he can get electrocuted or shocked at any time and die? It happens all the time. He putting his life on the line. He ain't get paid $3 million or more. So if your argument is, I'm putting my life on the line, I need to get paid more than this, okay, then everybody else who putting their life on the line should get paid more than that. Your opponent should get paid more than that. Nail Albright should have got paid more than that. Jermaine Ortiz should have got paid more than that. Dennis Baranchik should have got paid more than that because he putting their life on the line. If we going to go by that argument. Did you see how flawed that is? It's a flawed ass argument. Ain't a man. Ain't a man. Ain't no. Anyways, I will read the super chats in a minute. Devin Haney. I don't know. Damn, I don't know how many titles. I think he became undisputed. I know he started making more money when he got with Eddie Hearn. When they got with Eddie Hearn, that's when he really started getting bread, right? But my point is this here. He wasn't making that at 15 fights. Like they were still in Mexico somewhere. He wasn't making that at 15 fights. Boots wasn't making that at 15 fights. Who else I said? Brian Norman Jr. wasn't making that at 15 fights. None of them dudes was making that at 15 fights. But this nigga, well, shit, I supposed to be making, you see? That goddamn Brian Norman made this. Brian Norman was a champion. He defended his title. He knocked the motherfucker out, put him in the coma, made him lose his memory for 6 months, 6 weeks or something like that. And he was the champion. Devin Haney was the challenger. Devin Haney was the bigger name, of course. And it was on the Riyadh season card. So Turk Ali paid that deal. How you comparing your situation to Brian Norman? Well, everybody know that Keyshawn more popular than Brian Norman. He popular. You know what? I digress. Well, I need the church to say amen. I need somebody to pray for me today. I need prayer today. I swear to God, I need prayer today. I need prayer today. To command that kind of money, $3 million or above, a boxer usually has multiple world title fights. This is the criteria to be making that kind of money to justify that. A boxer must have multiple title fights, significant ticket selling ability, strong television or streaming value, proven pay-per-view appeal, that's 4, a large fan base, that's 5, and promotional leverage, that's 6. So in order for you to make that type of money, let's say that again. There are 6 metrics that one must meet. He must have multiple world title fights, that's 1. Significant ticket selling ability, that's 2. Now, there are some exceptions to the rule. But if you're not the exception, nigga, don't be asking for that shit, because you ain't the exception. But I digress. Number 3, strong television or streaming value, that's 3. Proven pay-per-view appeal, that's 4. Now, a lot of these dudes who get this money, they ain't got no pay-per-view appeal at all. So we really can throw that out the window, to be fair, right? A large fan base, that's 5. Well, we know you ain't got no large fan base. I think that's obvious. And a promotional leverage, that's 6. You ain't got no promotional leverage. You are literally missing everything on this list. Everything. But you feel still that at 15 fights, that's what I supposed to get. Who told you that? Man, my trainer told me that. He told me that it's worth more than that, and Shit, my nigga, you told me to go perp, man. I might well, cause shit, my nigga, I know somebody gonna come and drop a bag on this. Motherfucker drop $3 million and they spitting that good white man from Top Rank face. God bless you. Listen, you prayed. Put it this way. There's a meme that I saw a long time ago, right? There was this lady. She was laying on the ground and she had a stop sign sitting on top of her. Knocked her down. And the caption in the meme says, God, give me a sign. So God gave her a sign, hit her ass in the head with the stop sign. That's the sign. She didn't even realize that God sent her the sign.
True, true, true.
I prayed for God to send me a sign, and I'm still patiently waiting on the Lord. What happened? Yeah, remember I called you 911? Yeah, I asked God for a sign, and so they think I know a sign hit me on the head, and I was laid out. I was in the coma for about 2 seconds, and then the ambulance came and got me. So I said, okay, so you prayed for the sign, God gave you a sign. That was the sign. You got to figure out what the sign is. God dang, I don't want them to folk add $3 million. What I'm gonna do with $3 million? Jay Prince got to get his 30%. Top Rank got to get their 20%. That's 1.5 right there. Then I got to pay my team. Then the IRS got to get their cut. I supposed to go to the dentist, get veneers. Nigga, I supposed to be buying the beans. I got Jacob the jeweler. Waiting on me. Edgar Berlanga hooked me up with Jacob. I got Jacob got some ice for me. I'm putting on layaway. I ain't gonna how what I'm gonna do with $3 million? What you the same thing you were doing with 900,000? The same thing you were doing when you were making 500, when you made 500,000, you gonna do the same thing with that. When you made $1 million, you same thing. Yeah. You spending the money, nigga spending the money already before dog, you know how niggas are. We be, dog, when that money come, boy, you already don't spend the money already. Yeah, dog, that first first 100,000, I'm going to Jacob. I got to get that there, my girl, I got to get her something too. Then my kids, I got to get them some ice and stuff like that there, you know what I mean? Then on top of that there, let's see, I got this doggone Bentley I was looking at. Now I'm checking that Bentley out. Now I got that Bentley I'm looking at, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get a mob ties Bentley, you know what I'm saying? Then let's see what else I'm looking at. I got a couple of panky rings. I'm gonna get panky, Panky, panky. I got a couple of panky rings. I'm gonna get. You know what I'm saying? The nigga counting the money already. Now, I did that before. Hey Mason, I did that before. I had some money coming, right? I went to spending the money in my head, talking about what I'm gonna do with it when I get it. In my head is already the money spent. I don't count the money already. Yeah, dog. You know what I mean? Shit, nigga, we finna go ball out on this here, fam. I ain't playing with this shit, dog. Put the ass nigga talking that, you know what I mean? Nigga talk about in what world $3 million is peanuts. Like shit. I'm still trying to get over that. That's what I'm still trying to get over. And on what planet is $3 million chump change? Anybody? I'm just saying, fam. Listen, I'm coming, folk. I'm just coming. In what world is $3 million chump change? Somebody say, don't forget the weed man, coach. Hey, you know what? The weed man, Sonny, the weed man don't cost that much, though. The weed man don't really cost that much. In the grand scheme of things, it really don't cost that much, to be fair. You see what I'm saying? So I just broke that down, right? That's why the reported $3 million offer in the Haney versus Keyshawn negotiations drew so much attention. Because people knew a fighter with only 15 fights, you won a title. You did win a title, and that was at lightweight, right? That was at lightweight. You end up losing a title on the belt, on the scale. You blew weight, fight got canceled. Your fans who are in Norfolk, Virginia was upset with you. They booed you when you walked in the arena. You sat out. Well, you jumped the mirror, no, right? You and your little brother. The young lady said y'all was slow on you. I don't know how true that is, but I got my eyes on you. I had one brother call me yesterday, and shout out to the brother who called me yesterday. I think he was from I forgot where the brother was from, But brother, I understand where you're coming from. You meant well. You were saying that, look, man, coach, man, that's low hanging fruit, man. You ain't gotta go that low. But you gotta understand, brother. Listen, y'all gotta understand me, right? Me, coach, I dig ditches. Fam. You have to. When you can't be team for the other side and not willing to go low. you can't be team for the other side and not be willing to go low. I'm just telling you right now, dog. Like this ain't for everybody. You got to be built for this shit. You get what I'm saying? Because there's a whole lot that come with it, and you know what I mean. It is what it is. At this point, it is what it is. It is what it is, fam. I will get to the super chat. I'm telling you, it is what it is, my brother. I'm just, at this point in time in my life, being from where I'm from, this just what it is. You know what I'm saying? We going low. We digging ditches. I'm just, it is what it, you know what I mean? I'm the best. Don't nobody like, I'm telling you, bro, don't nobody like me. I have accepted that. I've accepted that. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna be the bad guy, be that motherfucker.
True.
I'm embracing it. I am ingratiating in the. You know what I mean? I love it. You got to be the heartbreak kid, man. The heartbreak kid. I gotta be the one to do it. Cause I have people who watch this show that's in the sport of boxing. Do you know what they tell Coach Malachi? They say, Coach, you know what, man? I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. I want to thank you. Hold on, I'm dead ass serious. I want to thank you for saying what need to be said. You the only one that's gonna say what need to be said. You know what I mean? I want to thank you for saying what need to be said, because you say what we all want to say, but we can't say it. He said, you say what we want to say, but we can't say it. I'm telling you what the people tell me. You say we want to say, but we can't say it. I know, don't worry about it, baby boy. I got you. Because I'm not in your position. If I was in your position, then I understand, you still got to work with these people. Me, I'm on the outside looking in, dog. I'm on the outside looking in. I'm duck hunting. Remember that game, Duck Hunt? We used to play back in the day. We used to go to the arcade game. This when we had arcade. This when we go to the arcade. We used to go to the arcade when I was growing up. We go to the arcade. There was a game by Atari called Duck Hunt, and they used to have like the little gun, like the little toy gun, and you pointed at the screen, and then the ducks be flying in the air, and then you shoot. You see what I'm saying? Duck Hunt. It was a good game. We duck hunting right now.
True.
Duck hunting. You see what I'm saying? Now, as I said before, that's why the reported $3 million offer in the Haney versus Keyshawn Davis negotiations drew so much attention. For a fighter with approximately 15 pro fights, it would have been nearly impossible. You see what I'm saying? To make that kind of money. And also, it would have been an unusually lucrative opportunity compared with most fighters that have 15 fights who is at that stage in their career. I mean, I'm just being honest with you, bro. Just find me a fighter who have 15 pro fights making $3 million or more. Find them. All these superstars. Find them. I'm just find them, please. Go Google it. Go chat GPT it. Get on your Googles. Guess what? You ain't gonna find them.
True.
You ain't gonna find them. So when you say, I deserve this, I deserve that, them 3 million peanuts. What are you basing that on? Well, Brian Norman made 3.5. Okay, you are deflecting. What does Brian Norman got to do with the price of tea in China? Well, do you think when they go to answering the question with a question, do you think that Brian Norman more popular than Keyshawn? All right, let's rewind. Let's stop right here. Stop. Okay, let me ask you this again. what financial metrics, financial mean money. What financial metrics, meaning can you show me history or past of what has this guy done and sold and what he's been paid? That you can say, hey, at this point in time, he was doing A, B, C, and D. He made this, he made that, he made that, he made this. Like, is there any metrics you can show me? Well, I ain't got no metrics, but my metrics is how I feel. I feel that. And I'm like, okay, cool.
True.
All right, man. You know, I'm done. All right, man. That's it. All right. Hold on. We got super chats. Got to make sure I got the right one. We got a lot. Okay, this is, she say, Coach, can you? All right, cool. Shout out to Get Over Here.
Hey, okay.
Was dropping that quarter over. Bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Get Over Here say he fought part-time electricians, cab drivers, Amazon workers. These Gen Z fans don't know shit about boxing. Tank fans say he'll KO Leonard. I mean, they don't know no better, man. They really don't know no better. I can't even get on them no more, to be fair. Shout out to OBW Stretch.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that $2 super chat. He said that shell my man's. Hey man, you know your man shelved himself, really. Shout out to Gold Rush.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that quarter over. Bam, dub on your boy. He said, Coach, did you get a chance to see that clip of Coach Dorsett saying that Haynes needed to give Kiki more money from their purse for him to fight? Yeah, I saw that shit. I saw that. Bro, listen, check this out. Gold Rush, tell me this, my brother. In what world? Oh, I got a super chat to read out. Cash out to read out that a brother gave yesterday. I didn't see it yesterday. I got to get his brother a shout out. Y'all tell me this here. In what world do you get paid? In what world do you get paid on your job? And another employee who works in that industry don't like the pay that he's getting, which is a triple of the amount of money that they've been paid. Just imagine being on a job and your boss, your supervisor, pay you 3 times more than the pay that you're making right now. Won't you be grateful? Shit, nigga, I was making $15 an hour. Now I'm making $45 an hour. Shit, nigga, I was making $20 an hour. Now I'm making $60 an hour. Shit, I was making $25 an hour. Now I'm making $75 an hour. In what world does the worker spits in the face of the employer who wants to pay him 3 times more than his base salary? Gen Z, only Generation Z boxers.
True.
Yeah, the coach said that what they should do. Now, let me tell you something, man. I know you getting all this money from the Zoom, so what I need you to do, I chase you. I said, don't pick on the Hispanics, pick on me. I said that they'll pick on me, so I'm picking on you. Now you telling me, yeah, you picking on me, but I want to make more money. I'm like, my nigga, you ain't got but 15 fights. They paying you $3 million. That's way more. Show me anywhere in the history of boxing that a nigga who only had 15 fights, he's not the champion, only had 15 fights, and never had one fight in a new weight division that he moved in. So mysteriously, he got moved to number 1, right? Show me where a nigga got paid $3 million or more at. You turned down the $3 million and say, I want more money. After you made $900,000 your last fight. How we get from 900,000 to 5 million? Like I'm missing something in between. I'm like, what kind of Wakanda math is this? Is this Wakanda math? Like I'm trying to figure that part out. I ain't got but a GED. You know what I mean? I'm not remedial, I'm slow. Right? So I'm not the brightest light bulb in the ceiling. I'm not the sharpest butter knife in the kitchen drawer. See what I'm saying? I'm not remedial, I'm slow. So please explain this shit to me, because I'm trying to wrap my brain around it, and I'm being very unsuccessful. That's all. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that, fam. I saw that. Shout out the dog on OBW Stretch.
Hey, okay.
Dropping out $2 super chat. He said, please ask Bob to unshelf Keyshawn, please. Well, I tell you what. I tell you, do you want me to ask? Okay, do you want me to ask Master Charlie? Ask Bob M to unshelf Keyshawn. I got you. OBW Stretch, I got you, fam. I got you. OBW Stretch told me that he want me to ask Bob. So listen now, Bob kind of mad. So I'm gonna talk to Bob right now. And guess what? I'm gonna tell Bob, now I'm gonna tell you something now, OBW Stretch. You might not like this, what I'm finna say. Shout out to Rick. You might not like this, what I'm finna say, OBW Stretch. Keyshawn may have to go over there to Top Rank, and he may got to get on his knees and beg. I don't think he got no problem doing that. He may have to get on his knees and beg. I'm telling you, it's that bad. There's only one way, OBW Stretch. There's only one way I think my brother, that Keyshawn Davis, is going to be able to get off the shelf. And he got to do this.
Am I the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Sure enough.
Well, who am I?
Sure enough.
Who am I?
Sure enough.
I can't hear you.
Sure enough.
Shogun of Harlem.
Yes.
Thought that nigga was the Shogun. Nigga was talking that shit. Am I the meanest? Sure enough. Am I the prettiest? Sure enough. Am I the toughest mofo low down around this town? Sure enough. Well, who am I? Keyshawn Davis? Who am I? Keyshawn Davis? I can't hear you. Keyshawn Davis? Yeah. The Shogun of Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. And then, goddammit, Bruce Leroy stood up. Nigga, I thought you was show enough. The Silver Spoon Kid, Bruce Leroy showed up. Bruce Leroy said, man, what's happening? What you want to do? Yeah, dog, you know what, dog? I changed my mind. I was just playing, dog. I ain't, you know what I mean? Shout out to Gold Rush.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that quarter of a dub. He said, Kiki severely hurt the DB3 brand. What is DB3? Like, what is their brand known for? I'm trying to figure that out. He said, here, the DB3 brand doing this remedial shit. He said, Coach, do you think this will affect Key's real brothers' boxing career? What? His real brothers ain't really ain't got no boxing career. The older brother, he ain't, I mean, he mid at best. And then the younger brother, he got time. So I don't think it'll affect him. I don't really think it'll affect him, but we'll see. Shout out to Said.
Hey, okay.
Dropping out $2 super chat. He said Keyshawn thank Key Lomachenko, coach. I mean, he the wrong complexion. Shout out to dark skinned 80s man.
Hey, okay.
Dropping out $2 super chat. He said it's given that he's not ready. Okay. Shout out to Rod.
Hey, okay.
Dropping out $2 super chat. He said Prince and Kerr set up Key like he did like Mama like he did Mama Ho's son. Man, all I'm saying, fam. All I'm saying to this here. I just want y'all to see this quick video. I want to show y'all this quick video of what Jim Moore had to say. No, he was on there with not Jim Moore, but what's his name? Keep getting it. Chris Mannix had to say with to Sergio Moore.
It's like 8-4 in a chess match type of fight that Devin wins because he's more experienced overall. He's more experienced at the weight. Walking away now, I don't know what his next opportunity is. From what I'm told, Top Rank doesn't owe him a fight again until May of 2027. Like they don't have, what they can do now is, follow the letter of the law in the contract, offer him his minimums, have him, offer him fights with like Brian Norman Jr. or Tiger Johnson or some of these guys that they've got on their stable. The kind of fights that don't represent big paydays, that don't represent the kind of big opportunities that Keyshawn is looking for. He is taking a tremendous risk here. And look, maybe it'll pay off. He didn't suffer like 8.
Now, again, let's see that one more time. Now, Coach Malachi didn't say this, so I want y'all Keyshawn fans to go to Chris Mannix and tell him he hating. Say you hating. Keep Keyshawn name out your mouth. You better not come back to Norfolk. You tell him that. Tell him that. That's what he's saying. Let's go. Let's see this one more time. One more again. Let's hear it one more again.
4 in a chess match type of fight that Devin wins because he's more experienced overall. He's more experienced at the weight. Walking away now, I don't know what his next opportunity is. From what I'm told, Top Rank doesn't owe him a fight again until May of 2027. Like there's they don't have, what they can do now is, follow the letter of the law and the contract, offer him his minimums, have him, offer him fights with like Brian Norman Jr. or Tiger Johnson or some of these guys that they've got on their stable. The kind of fights that don't represent big paydays, that don't represent the kind of big opportunities that Keyshawn is looking for.
Oh, wait. Okay. Let's start right there. Who cares if it represented big payday? Them two black fighters he can fight. Brian Norman Jr., young, strong black fighter, Tiger Johnson. I grew up in the era where all the black fighters fought each other. So since you ain't want to fight the other black fighter, Debo Dev, for $3 million, now you got to fight Brian Norman Jr. And Tiger Johnson for less than that. You go back to regular, but you go back to your regular pay. And both of them dangerous fights. But if you are what they say you are, you should be able to win those fights. You did? I just had to throw that out there. I gotta call my guest. I gotta get ready to call my guest. But before I do, I want to give a shout out. I want to dedicate this show to the hood.
I want to thank the whole hood who came out here. I love y'all. I did this for the hood. Y'all know I beat that boy.
Hey man, shout out to Anthony.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that, bam, hundo on your boy yesterday. I missed it. He dropped the hundo last night. Shout out to Anthony. He said True Media Podcast. I appreciate you, brother. You are a sponsor of today's show. Today's show was sponsored by our brother Anthony. He dropped the hundo on the show last night. I appreciate that, bro. Cash App. And Cash App. So y'all ought to know what we got to do. We got to hit our sponsor with the Huggy Bear.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
And what else we gonna do? We gonna say a special prayer for these sapsuckers.
And I want you to hold on to God's unchanging hand, because he helped Joshua fight the battle of Jericho. Yes. He helped Daniel get out the lion's den. He helped Gilligan get off the island. Lord.
Let me go ahead and let's see. I gotta put Steve Kim's name. That's when I call him. So, hold on. Let me go ahead and call Steve. Let me call Steve right now. Call Steve right now.
Hello.
Steve, the legendary Steve Kim. May I speak to him, please?
Yes, I am here. Coach Mal, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? It's been a long time.
Long time. It's always a good time. A lot of things going on, and I hope you are well, and hello to your fine audience.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that, man. Listen, man, everybody's here. Steve, before we get into, I got a few questions to ask you, man. I know you probably one of the most busiest people I know in sports entertainment. You do some of everything, man. Let everybody know what you have going on.
Well, I mean, we taped the 3 knockdown rule. It'll be out. It's already out in podcast form, but the YouTube version comes out at 4 p.m. with Mario Lopez and I. We give a full rundown of the past weekend, and we talked about the Keyshawn Davis situation. Then I also do Tuesdays and Thursdays. I am on the Coach JB show.
Yeah. And
I did my segment earlier this morning, and I'll be back on in a couple days. And then I'm on with Jason Whitlock at Fearless various times throughout the week. And also for your audience that wants to read my written work, most of it is on boxing.
Yeah.
I now have a Substack at stevekimboxing.substack.com. I do a couple of short podcasts every week, and I do at least 2 or 3 written articles. And we have monthly and yearly subscriptions available.
Man, I appreciate that, man. Just letting everybody know. Steve, man, like you've been in the boxing for a long time. You know a lot of people in the sport. And, I remember I always revert back to a conversation that me and you had. You told me, you say, and I want to know if you remember this. You say, Coach, I have come to the conclusion that I have seen the best years of boxing that I'm going to see. Do you remember telling me that?
Oh, absolutely. And when I said that, I was at Phil Training. We have a monthly boxing dinner. You attended one time when you were out here in Southern California. And I said that to Doug Fisher. This was during the pandemic or right in the middle of it where they're doing the physical spacing. But we're at dinner, and I said, Doug, we were very lucky to have grown up when we were kids to at least experience in our own way the Hagler, Leonard, Duran, who was it? Tommy Hearns era. And then we also got Mike Tyson. And then after that, when we started covering the game, Coach, we got to see Barrera, Morales, Pacquiao, Mayweather, Winky Wright, Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones, all those guys. And so
Calzaghe.
back then, yes, all of them. De La Hoya, obviously. Got to give him credit. Fernando Vargas.
Trinidad.
So now, Trinidad. So just think about all the stuff we got to see. And then I got to see as a kid, 1984, the greatest Olympic team of my experience, because I wasn't old enough to really appreciate it in 76, but Pernell Whitaker, Meldrick Taylor, Terrell Biggs, Evander Holyfield, Virgil Hill, Mark Breland. So that's what I grew up on. And I grew up where you got to watch boxing on ABC, CBS, NBC, various other networks. And there was pay-per-view back then, but you'd always get to see the fights eventually, and you saw more of the good fights that you wanted. And, I think a lot of this is cultural and maybe even a commentary on society, Coach, because we're about the same age. When I think of guys like James Toney, Mike McCallum, I really feel like, man, these were men. None of these guys are perfect. We're all flawed human beings. I felt like, man, we are covering men, right? I just look at some of the behavior of the fighters today. It's just like, I don't know if I'm covering men. I really don't. And I don't want to come off as too critical. Maybe I'm that guy that's telling everyone to get the hell off my lawn, but that's the way I feel. And Coach, I ain't changing.
Steve, I did a segment yesterday, and I was talking about different generations, and Marvin Hagler and Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard in terms, they came from the baby boomer era. They were baby boomer boxers. And I was looking at, and then of course the guys who came before that, they were just vicious. But I said that I noticed, I was doing a comparison. Those guys came up under rough conditions. No, Ray Leonard was always, he was the golden boy before the golden boy, of course. Yeah. But, I'm looking at how those guys represented the sport, the passion, how it, and they became rich at the same time. And then what came after them, of course we had the Pernell Whitakers. That was the Roy Jones. That was the Gen X era. That's my era, the Gen X era, and just how they, how they went about the sport. Mike Tyson and all of them, right? And then I'm looking at this, and then you had the millennial era, which who just retired? Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, all of those guys. Tim Bradley, those guys. And then now we have the Gen Z boxers. That's the Shakur Stevensons, the Keyshawn Davises, the Devin Haney's, the Ryan Garcias, the Tank Davises. And I'm like, it looks totally different. Am I wrong in that?
No, and I've said this before on with Fearless on Jason Whitlock. Sports reflects culture, and culture reflects sports. And I think what we're seeing today is really mirroring what happens in the overall larger society. And, when you look at what's happening, let's go with Keyshawn. He seems to be a big focus, is that the great thing is that fighters today have more options and choices and rights, right? Isn't that great, right? You know what the problem is? They over leverage it. That's the problem. No one has ever said fighters shouldn't get paid a lot. No one has ever said fighters shouldn't have a choice in their career direction. Nobody has ever said that they shouldn't want what's best for them. Right. The problem is they take it too far. And in the last 2 years, I've made it very clear, because a lot of people try to talk about the Muhammad Ali Act and Zuffa. I said, you know what? I'm not concerned about fighters' rights. They have rights. You know what I'm concerned about nowadays? From the time whenever I finish covering boxing, from the time I am here to the time I stop covering boxing, I care about the fans. I care about the doggone consumers, you people out there that pay for the sport, because quite frankly, the decisions that are made by the fighters and their management is generally a slap in the face to what we want as the paying consumer, and it makes me sick.
To me, Steve, it appears that these kids today, they have a sense of entitlement that I've never seen before. Like,
there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
On what planet does a fighter who have 15 professional fights, he's won one title at 135, loses the belt on the scale, moves up to 140, moves up to 140. He has a fight, a non-title fight, because he don't have a belt, and then he moves up to 147. Never fought at 147 before. Don't have a title. Don't have anything. The most money this kid has ever made, according to what Dan Rayfield and Rick Glaze and stuff have said online, was $1 million. And in what world that does your promoter offer a guy who's only had 15 fights $3 million? What fighter on the planet with 15 fights makes $3 million? I haven't met him yet, right?
Well,
go ahead.
Coach, to what you said, one that is entitled, but to be completely accurate, one that has also been enabled. Because these promoters, because they're all in business of trying to create their own monopoly and they had their own networks, they had to sign a lot of these fighters to exorbitant deals with inflated minimum purses. And then they really couldn't make what I'd call real fights because they got to keep them afloat, got to get them to a title. I actually think boxing should go back to the way it was way back in the old days when the promoters didn't have long-term exclusive deals with fighters. They just made fights.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it hasn't been great for the business. Fighters are fighting less and less, asking for more. But to your overall point, Coach, you are absolutely right. The modern-day fighter asks for more and gives less than any other generation of boxer.
Yeah, I've never seen this, and then this is the norm. So I'm gonna tell you something else. I've been studying this. The fan base, especially on social media, on the internet, is different. The overall fan bases are streamers, streaming boxing fans, and influencer boxing fans. This is the majority of the fan base here. When I listen to these guys, when they call into the show, different boxing shows, and they make these arguments that just make no damn sense. And I'm listening to an interview from Keyshawn Davis's trainer. This guy had the nerve to say that, okay, Devin Haney should give money from his purse in order to make up the difference that Keyshawn Davis wants to make from Top Rank that he's not getting. This is a $900,000, $1 million fighter. And he feels he's entitled to $5 million or whatever $1 million he wants, to the point to where I want Steve Kim, when you get paid, Steve, I need you to give me a percentage of your purse to make up the difference for what I want. If you really, like, I ain't never heard no shit like this for in my life.
Well, Coach, I didn't know boxers were equity partners. I thought this was professional prize fighting. I mean, who was that trainer? E.F. Hutton? This is the reality of the Keyshawn Davis situation, him turning down 3 and then not wanting to settle for 2.1. Bottom line is very simple. I said this last week on the Kareem Cosell podcast on my Substack. He didn't think he can win. Because here's the reality, Coach. If he was fighting Steve Kim, he would have taken $3 million.
Yeah.
He would have taken 2.1. In fact, he would have taken a lot less than that. He did not think he could make the money. And unfortunately, and it's always been this way, but it's more pronounced now, boxing management and the handling of careers is the balancing of risk versus reward. And unfortunately, none of the television networks are enforcing any protocols in terms of quality control. So all these years of promoters having exclusive deals with promoters, and they just put up any fight they want without a network head saying, no, you got to give us something better. It has created and really contributed to this sense of entitlement that How in the world can you dare tell a fighter now, no, that's not good enough. We're not allowing you to do that.
Yeah.
So a lot of this is fostered. But the reality is, Coach, if Keyshawn Davis really thought he could win the fight, he would have taken that $3 million because he would have parlayed the victory. See, a lot of these guys do not just look at a fight of that nature, right? Keyshawn Davis, about Devin Haney.
Mm-hmm.
He does not look at it as an opportunity. He looks upon it as an annuity.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. And I've told this many times recently, and I'm repeating myself, but I don't think your audience has heard it. When Evander Holyfield was negotiating the first fight for Mike Tyson, it was in the early fall or early September after Tyson had knocked out Bruce Seldon the weekend Tupac got shot, that infamous weekend, right?
I remember that, yeah.
So Jim Thomas was the attorney for Evander Holyfield, and he had to meet King in Toronto at some hotel room. He set up an office in a big ballroom, and immediately the meeting goes left. Don and Evander are yelling at each other about what the fight is worth. They're going to get this much, that much. And Jim Thomas said, whoa, wait a minute. He goes, Don, I need a few minutes with my client. So Evander and Jim Thomas go out the door, close it, and Jim says to Evander, what you're doing in there is going to cost you the fight. And Evander says, well, he's not showing me respect. He's not being fair. And Jim Thomas says, Evander, if you're looking for respect and being fair, Don King was not the guy to meet with. You know what they're trying to do. They don't think you can win. Nobody does. But here's the thing. Because no one is giving you a shot, if you let me negotiate a rematch clause after you beat them, I can get you everything you want because they don't think you can win. And Don thinks you're a dead man. So, but again, you can ask for everything you want in the first fight, and you may negotiate your way out of this. And Evander stepped back. He calmed down because he was really angry when Jim Thomas asked him that question. He said, Jim, you handle this. I'm going dancing.
Hold on. Repeat that. What he said?
Evander Holyfield said, Jim, you're absolutely right. He goes, I'm going dancing. Negotiate that fight. And in the rematch, the bite fight in 1997, before one pay-per-view was sold, Coach, in 1997, Evander Holyfield's guarantee for Tyson 2 was $33.5 million. Adjust that for inflation. That's probably what, 40, 45 million?
45,
but that's because he understood to get to the real payday, I got to win the first fight. So I have a question for Keyshawn Davis. Did you actually think you could beat Devin Haney?
That's a help. Hey, hold on. I got another one. Tell us the story about Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard. How that fight came about from a money standpoint.
Well, from a money standpoint, that's really a fighter and a promoter having faith in each other. What happened was Evander Holyfield, Ray Leonard and his lawyer, Mike Trainer, called Marvin and they say, Marvin, you got the fight. We're going to pay you $12 million and we're going to take 11, but you have to give us concessions in terms of ring size, glove size, and all that stuff. And so Marvin Hagler goes, great, let me call Bob Arum. And they go, no Bob Arum. We're not doing business with Bob. And Marvin Hagler goes, what do you mean? He goes, he's been good to me. He goes, we've done 16 fights. He's been great. And he goes, no, we're going to do this with someone else, or we're going to do it ourselves. And Marvin said, I'm not really comfortable with that. I don't think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And they said, well, wait a minute. Are you saying you will not do this fight unless Bob Arum is involved? And he said, yes, that guy's been good to me. That's my promoter. Either he's in or we're out. And Mike Trainer the next day called Bob Arum and said, all right, asshole, you got to put up $24 million. You have 24 hours to send the wire. Yeah. So here's the thing that was great. So for that fight, Bob Arum said to both guys, hey, this can be a home run. Why don't you lower your guarantee and play off the upside? We can do a lot of business. It'll be better. Ray Leonard and Mike Trainer said, you're out of your mind. We want our $12 million guarantee. Hagler said, Bob, you really think that this thing can blow up? And they said, yeah. Hagler ended up making $19 million for that fight because he took less of a guarantee. But the other story that I want to tell, if you ever look up the...
Steve, your phone breaking up a little.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, so the other story is if you research on Google or go to Grok, when Ray Leonard fought Roberto Duran the first time in 1980, that was in Montreal. Look at the purses. Ray Leonard got paid a guaranteed $10 million. Duran got $1 million. You don't think he wanted more than just 9% or 10%?
Yeah.
But he said, you know what? His view was, let me beat this guy and I will parlay the rematch, which he did. It ended up being the no Moss fight. It wasn't great, but he got a lot more for winning that first fight. And they had that rematch, 6 months later or 3 months later or 5 months later in New Orleans at the Superdome. But Coach, my point is this. A lot of these guys want an exorbitant amount of money for one reason. I don't believe they have that much faith in themselves.
You know what, man? You right. Like that's what I'm seeing. They do a whole lot of barking online. They yell, they scream, they fill their chests up with air, but their actions are totally opposite of what they say out of their mouths. And I that's what I noticed. And I say, and I'm not saying every Gen Zer boxer. I'm not saying that. But what I noticed, American boxing, what I've noticed is that we don't have a boxing culture in America anymore. In my opinion, it's more. It's like it's more like tabloidish. What you got going on? We tweeting, we talking. Yeah, sign this, sign that. Then the fans get involved, and the fans go to want to negotiate because the fans feel like they want to be a part of negotiations as well.
It's funny when you talk about the problems of today's boxing, and we always say today's boxers. Isn't it 90% of the time American boxers we're talking about? Like what happened with Stephen Fulton?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Fulton has the nerve to tweet about how he was almost a victim, like he's feeling sorry for himself. And I'm like, hey, Steph, don't take this the wrong way. You didn't try to make weight. You flat out failed because you didn't even come close. But I really do think one of the issues is if this is a reality, okay? And I'm just surmising here, and your audience can agree or disagree. But if you said that Top Rank, if let's say they came up to Keyshawn with an offer, okay, Keyshawn, we're going to pay you $2 million to fight another Nahir Albright level guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he'd ask for 5, or do you think he would just take 2 to fight another Nahir Albright?
Oh, he'll take that too in a heartbeat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is, and you pointed this out, let's not act like Keyshawn Davis was like his Norfolk brethren, Pernell Whitaker.
Oh,
he won his title in a vacant shot. He didn't beat Vasyl Lomachenko. He beat Denis Baranchyk. And then in his first title defense, he didn't make weight, but him and his brother did try to assault Nahir Albright in the locker room after his brother lost the fight. And then he beats Jermaine Ortiz. Okay, he looked pretty solid. Then he beat Albright. It's not like it's Pernell Whitaker. So let me give you another example of the type of men we used to have in boxing. When Pernell Whitaker in 1993 agreed to fight the great Julio Cesar Chavez, he agreed to do it in front of 63,000 Mexicans at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Think about that. And Pernell Whitaker was a multi-division champion, considered top 2 or 3 in the world.
Pound for pound. He was the number 1 pound for pound at one point in time, too.
And not only that, him and his team basically went behind their back to HBO to make that fight on Showtime because they wanted the fight. Nowadays, you ask a fighter to fight 5 miles from their area code or zip code, they act like you're asking them to fight on Neptune or Mars. It's maddening.
I just, man, like, you just mentioned Julio Cesar Chavez and Pernell Whitaker. Both of those guys was number 1 pound for pound fighters at one point in time. Like, I was just looking that up today. Yeah. Chavez was number 1. He was number 1 pound for pound fighter somewhere around that time. And then Pernell Whitaker was for like a year and 2 years as well. Like, literally. So I'm when I look at this, bro, and I'm like, man, when I hear these conversations from these fans, they have nothing to compare it to. So in their mind, this is the social media boxing era. These kids was 25, 26 years old, 27. They was born in 2000, 1999, stuff like that. And they come up in the TikTok era, the Instagram era. This is the TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube era of boxing, influencer boxing, a lot of streaming. A lot of this stuff is like crossing and bleeding into each other. Like I'm starting to see the streaming world and the boxing world and the influencer world colliding together. And I thought about something you said earlier. You said that you think the networks and the promoters kind of created this atmosphere that we're in right now?
Yeah. I mean, once the network said to promoters, like, hey, we'll just take all of your shows. You get all of our dates. Well, then from a promoter's perspective, what impetus is there to actually give them real fights? And the other issue is if every promoter has their own network deal, and this is before everyone was on the zone. Okay, so I think that dynamic has changed. But when all of these different promoters had their own network deal, you were never going to have a cross promotion. You're never going to have an intermingling of fights. You're already separating and dividing the sport. The other thing is, once the networks themselves gave up quality control, because back in the good old days, Lou DiBella was at HBO. There was a gentleman by the name of Mort Sharnick at CBS. ABC had Alex Walu. Jay Larkin was at Showtime, right? And they had the ability to get a fight, and they say, nope, we're not taking that guy. Not good enough. We're not doing it. And a lot of fighters and promoters and managers, they leverage the exclusivity into easier fights. And here's another thing, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like this, but it's a very basic, simple economic theory principle from a great economic mind by the name of Walter Williams, not the old basketball player, but Walter Williams. He said something years ago that I didn't really understand. He actually thought the minimum wage depressed job rates. He thought when you put in minimum wage, you actually hurt job growth.
Yeah, I have his books. I have Walter Williams' books. I have a couple of his books.
Yeah, very, very sharp guy. Well, think about it, Coach. If fighters like Keyshawn Davis all have a contracted minimum, and let's say it's really high, here's the thing, human nature, and I'll admit I'd probably the same way. If Steve Kim had a minimum of $1.5 million per fight, Coach, do you ever think I'm going to fight anyone tough for that $1.5 million? No, I'm going to find the softest, weakest, worst fighter. Now, here's the other thing. But if I didn't have that in every fight, I had to start at ground zero.
Yeah.
I would say to everybody, all right, who do I fight here where I can make money? But at $1.5 million, that safety net, I'm going to try to fight the weakest, worst fighter every time. This is what has happened the last 25, 30 years, in my view.
Keyshawn Davis, I don't get it. Like just seeing, I was listening to Chris Mannix. He was with Sergio Mora, and he was saying the same thing that I heard. Because I told my audience, I say, look, man, I'm hearing that Top Rank. They finna put this boy on the shelf because they, I'm hearing this. I'm hearing this, and I can't say who I spoke to, but they gonna put this boy on the shelf because, man, they don't lost money. Like this guy just keep messing up. They don't lost money with him with the Edwin De Los Santos thing. Then you gave the fans your ass to kiss. He still really haven't apologized. And then what I noticed about this audience, this group of boxing fans, the boxing fans as well as the fighters, like the Keyshawns and the Shakurs and all these guys, not only do they have a sense of entitlement, there's no accountability. It's like this is the most unaccountable, excuse-making era of fighters, boxing, that I've ever seen in my life. I look at people like Marvin Hagler. This dude got it out the mud. You get what I'm saying? Julio Cesar Chavez, Salvador, Azuma Nelson, Eric Morales. Like, bro, like these guys, and these guys came up under harsher conditions. And what I also notice is the Tim Bradley era, the millennial era, those was the guys, and then Floyd Mayweather, he's from Gen X. But those guys were stamping these Generation Z fighters early. Yeah, man, he gonna be the next such and such. He didn't see that. And he got the stamp of approval from this guy without even proving it. So, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, Coach, what's that old, there's that meme or that saying about soft times create hard men and hard men create good times. There's a cycle.
That's true.
And the unfortunate part is when you coddle fighters, they are humans just like anybody else.
Right.
They will become products of their environment and their treatment. And, you know, this is what happens when you fast track fighters, you pay them a lot of money. This is the effect of it. And, you know, I have a theory, Coach, that Crawford's already retired. Inoue is really on his last segment of his career. Usyk has stated, this is my last dance. And Canelo is pretty much on his last legs as a fighter. Those are four very good fighters. I think that they are elite. I think they've represented themselves incredibly well. Once they leave, I don't want to say it's over, but who else is next to carry that mantle? Maybe Bam Rodriguez, maybe Boots Ennis, because I like Boots a lot.
Yeah.
But who else is there that you could really say is like, man, that's a real guy that could have fought in any other era? I don't see a lot of guys like that.
Yeah, I think the mentality, their mentality and their heart is not there. Like, I just look at some of the brutal fights that Hagler had to go through. Like, you really had to earn it. You don't have to earn it now too much. It just, you know, it's about swag. I'm doing streams with AB and Dean the Great. You know, I'm hanging out with Jay Prince, Mob Ties. You know, Bud gave me a stamp of approval. You know, Andre Ward gave me the stamp of approval. Everybody know I'm next. Hey, hold on, Steve. This another one. I got 2 words for you. Let me write it down before I forget.
Yeah.
Superstar, and face of boxing. Oh my God. But if I hear another Gen Z fighter tell me or his team that he's a superstar and he's the face of boxing, Steve, who have you ever heard in this foolishness as much as you hear that I'm hearing today?
Not when it's this flimsy. See, those terms have been watered down. I mean, when I think of face of boxing, I think of the cult of Tank, who swore up and down he was. And look, Tank's an excellent fighter, but yeah, you know, Tank has not fought since last March, and he may not fight till next March, earliest. So that's going to be about a full 2-year hiatus in what is still his physical prime. You know, the other thing that is really going to hurt the game of boxing is you cannot have your best fighters fight so inactive or be inactive and fight so infrequently, because they have to carry your sport. And nowadays, because I've charted this last 4 or 5 years, every year at the end of the year, Coach, if you look at the Ring Magazine top 10, you know, generally they average across the board less than 2 fights. Like those 10 fighters generally have about 18 fights. I actually charted this because I wrote an article about 4 or 5 years ago. In 1993, the top 10 Ring Magazine, pound for pound, their 10 fighters fought a total of like 38 times. So that means they average about 4 fights, basically, the top 10. The last 4 or 5 years, you get 20 or less. So they each fight about 2 times or less. I don't know how that's sustainable, because that type of load management, look, even if you load manage in the NBA, you still get to see the best players in the world 65, 70 times.
Yeah.
There's a reason why boxing is a niche sport. Part of the reason is your greatest and best fighters simply are shelled for too long.
Man, it makes perfect sense, because if you don't have the top guys that you're constantly seeing fighting each other, they're fighting far and few in between, and they're very active on Twitter. I can tell you that. Like, they are very active on Twitter. Twitter is the boxing ring, and the comments and the typing. You know, a lot of fights go on there. I've seen undisputed matches, pound for pound fights. You know, I've seen some classic fights on Twitter. Unfortunately, it has not translated into the ring.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve.
I have a question for the audience and you. If you went to a restaurant that only served your favorite meal once a year, would you regularly go to that restaurant? Yes or no?
Hey, y'all heard it, man. Hey, I could tell you no. If you're gonna serve it once a year, no, that doesn't make sense. No, I'm gonna say you no.
I think it's hard to stay in business that way when your best dishes are never cooked. And the other thing that is maddening is I don't know what's going on with Shakur. Shakur is fighting everybody.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why. look, I get it. Him and Devin Haney at 144, it seems to be a no man's land. You're not going to get that deal done. Yeah. But so with that said, I don't think anyone really wants to see Rayo Valenzuela in what is his Zuffa boxing debut, because he's also promised, I'm going to be making the real fights, none of this Rayo Valenzuela. Okay, fine. So with that said, why not Gary Antoine Russell? He's a solid fighter. He's athletic. He beat Rayo Valenzuela. He's the current WBA champion. He only has one loss. He's got good power. And when the fans, because I got this on Twitter, well, Steve, that's because he'd win every round. So wait a minute. If that is the prerequisite for not wanting to see a Shakur Stevenson fight, well, you don't want to see any Shakur Stevenson fight, right? Because Shakur is going to be the favorite against 99.9% of the fighters in the world today at 140 and below. That's the reality. He is that good at what he does. And the other thing is people say, well, that'll be a boring fight. Folks, it's a Shakur Stevenson fight. It ain't going to be Ward Gaddy. But I'd at least like to see him fight another athletic black fighter. Okay, so let's stop putting all these hurdles in it. You actually want to see the fights that are good or not. I know, I get it. We're not going to get fight of the year with Shakur Stevenson. But you know what? Last summer when Williams Zepeda pressed him, I thought that was a pretty good fight.
Yeah, that was a good fight. That was a good fight. I like that fight. And, I came up in the era, as I tell the audience, I came up in the era when the black fighters fought each other. Like, all of them fought each other, whether it was Jay Tony, Mike McCallum, whether it was Zuma Nelson, whether it was Julian Jackson, or the Jerry McClellan, whoever.
Oh, Tommy Hearns. Yeah. Look, Hagler Hearns, but look, the issue is with Shakur. I get it. You want the most amount of money, and you signed a big deal with Zuffa. There's not a lot of options right now. But the problem is with Shakur, he does not do himself a lot of favors, and I get it. And it seems like everyone that would be somewhat interesting happens to be his brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you, the Hadleys, the old the skit on A Living Color? Hey, on. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous.
Man,
and that's another thing about the old days. One of the best fights of 1991, and I wrote a story for my Substack on this about 4 months ago on the anniversary of the fight. Simon Brown was a hard-hitting welterweight. I mean, this guy would, let's put it this way. If he was a welterweight in the last 10, 15 years, that would be the toughest fight for Terrence Crawford. It would not be Errol Spence. It wouldn't be Sean Porter. It would be Simon Brown. That guy was a hammer. And his best friend that actually lived like 4 or 5 houses down from, because they lived in the same street, was Maurice Blocker. And they were both welterweight champions, but then the most amount of money that they could make was against one another. Coach, you ought to watch that fight. How they fought each other. It was an unbelievable war. Blocker troubled him with his reach and his length, pieced him up early, but then Simon Brown was just too strong and he knocked him out. Both guys were crying after the fight because they understood. We put our friendship on the line.
Their kids
it was highly emotional.
Yeah, their kids play with each other and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? They were men. They were men who did the job. They were honorable. I don't think we're that honorable anymore in boxing.
Because,
Coach, I really believe that.
Yeah, the boxing culture is, we don't have a boxing culture anymore. It's more social media than anything. And another thing, man, you brought up Simon Brown. For the life of me, I do not understand why Simon Brown has not been elected into the Hall of Fame.
That is a shame because he made a lot of title defenses. I believe he was on some pound for pound lists. And he was a guy, unfortunate, and he fought on different networks, right? But he never had that one great victory that he needed.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he, like a lot of other fighters, he took some losses late, right? When he moved up in weight and he taken a little bit of erosion to what he did. But when I look, like, let's go to our friend Tim Bradley, who may or may not be listening on the show right now, right? Tim Bradley, I covered most of his career. I was at a lot of fights. I mean, this guy was a world champion, and he had to travel to England to fight Junior Witter, one of the worst stinking styles. And then early on, he went all the way to Canada, I think in Montreal, to fight Kendall Holt in a unification bout. And then he went to Detroit. I was at this fight when he fought Devin Alexander in the Silverdome, one of the worst venues I've ever seen. I mean, Detroit was worn down at that point, got a little bit better. And then every time he needed to do something for his career, He had to do it. It was a hard road. So when I hear some of these fans, mostly the PBC pom-pom waivers, ripping Tim Bradley that he shouldn't be a Hall of Famer, I tell these people, hey, guys, if Tim Bradley is the line that you draw where you don't make the Hall of Fame, I hate to tell you this, guys, most of your fighters, they don't make it then. Tim Bradley is absolutely a Hall of Famer. You look at his resume, across the board, unification bouts, fights of the year, he was on the pound-for-pound list. Coach, I have a question. Who's close to having a Tim Bradley run right now in boxing? Seriously, that's in their prime.
Yeah, I can't, man. I can't on American boxing, because I always try to isolate American boxing because American boxing don't represent boxing globally anymore. It's more compartmentalized here, but I don't really see any. And I'm like, man, I'm looking at it. I have to say this to you, Steve. I understand the ring they got their pound for pound list. I feel just because you have 10 slots on the pound for pound list doesn't mean that you have to have every slot filled.
Oh, I'm with you. Coach, I think sometimes that pound for pound list could be 8 or 9 fighters. Sometimes it could be 2. When Floyd and Manny were on top of the food chain about 10, 15 years ago, I said number 1 and number 2 is Floyd, then Manny, and no one else. That's it. Other times it's a little bit deeper, but you're right, because there are times now, the last 3, 4 spots, people are just voting for their favorite guy that gives them an interview.
Yeah.
Let's be honest about it.
And I'm like, man, and the reason why I say that is because just because you have 10 slots don't mean you have to have 10 fighters there. You may have a good 3 or 4 that's strong, and those other guys have to have more work to do in order to get on the list. That's my entire argument. Look, he got potential. But just because we have a slot open don't mean he needs to be put in the spot. Let him do some more work. And then after he do some more work, we go back and look at it. Okay, you know what? Now we can justify putting him here, justify putting that guy there. You don't put him there just for the sake of putting him there. You know what I mean? And to me, that's what it feels like to me.
I mean, think about Keyshawn, who has a lot of talent, right? But is he even in the top 25, top 30 pound for pound based on accomplishments?
No, hell no.
I don't think he is. And for him to say that I need $5 million, I would actually say based on what? Now, look, I will give him credit for being a good regional draw in Norfolk. Although, after the stuff he pulled last year, he went backwards in that regard.
Yeah.
And I remember watching about 2 months ago when he fought Nahir Albright. Coach, halfway through that fight, I was bored to death. I was bored to death. I mean, say what you want about Devin Haney. He had one very tainted loss that's now off the record. I don't count that because I think there were some issues there. And look, we got to put a context to everything. He fought a guy that came in overweight on purpose and got busted for PEDs. If you count that as a legitimate loss, you're a dishonest broker, okay? But Devin Haney may not be the most exciting guy, but his resume is actually pretty damn good. And I don't know what they're going to do now, but Devin is a guy that I will give credit to, that he's putting in good, solid work. But when I look at today's fights, like, Coach, do you really want to pay money for Rolly Romero, Teofimo Lopez? Do you really want to put your hard-earned money on the line and shake out your piggy bank and look for coins underneath your couch pocket and say, hey, everyone, let's pitch in for Rolly Romero, Teofimo Lopez?
Man, I'm not even gonna lie to you, Steve. I'm not even, bro. Like I don't know when that fight is happening. I'm not even excited about it. I heard they had a press conference. I didn't know anything about it. I'm like, bro, like this is the most like Rolly Romero and Teofimo Lopez. You know, both of these guys, but put it this way, at least they fighting each other. They friends. So at least they fighting each other. I think they friends. I don't know if they call each other brothers, but they friends. So we gonna see how that work out. Steve, in closing, I've heard you say time and time again, you like, man, you I know for a fact you love boxing. And I know you're kind of like this, you heartbroken at the fact that just the way it's at right now. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, it's like we going through a dark period to me Now to the Gen Z population and generation, it's good. It's all good because, yeah, man, we got AB, he's streaming. Hey, hold on, Adrian Broner. Steve, I gotta ask you this question. You remember when Adrian Broner was being billed, when he was over there with Golden Boy, when he was being billed as the next Floyd Mayweather?
I do remember, and I thought that, again, you call him Floyd Mayweather, I call him Faux Mayweather, F-A-U-X. Look, he was a pretty good fighter in his day. I was there when Maidana ripped his head off in San Antonio. It was never really quite the same.
Yeah.
But the one thing I did respect about Broner was he made it fun. He was kind of a character, had some good fights here and there.
Yeah.
He'd make you laugh. I think it's kind of sad becoming a self-parody what he is now, and I guess him and Deem have kind of broken up. They'll probably make up by what, Thursday?
Yeah, they'll be back.
So I mean, the thing is about Floyd, I think Floyd gets a bad rap though, and I've kind of defended him on this. When Floyd got the De La Hoya opportunity, keep this in mind, he was 37-0.
Yeah.
These guys that make these demands aren't even 25-0, much less 20-0 times, right?
Right.
Also, Floyd was a 4-division world champion going into that fight,
yep.
And he was no worse than number 2 or 3 pound for pound. And in that fight, when they negotiated against De La Hoya, he did not have a lot of leverage. So he gave up the weight class, he gave up the ring size, and I think even the size of the gloves. So you could say, look, whatever entitlement that Floyd eventually got, he earned. So think about it. So compare this to Keyshawn, who's a 1-division champion who got stripped of his title, made no successful title defenses, is nowhere near the top 10 pound for pound. I actually do not have a problem with Floyd like a lot of people. I don't actually think that he ruined American boxing. I really don't. He actually ate what he killed, and he killed what he ate to a certain degree. I don't like what his career became. I got bored of it. But early on, and I was there when he beat Genaro Hernandez for the world title. I was there what he did to Chico Corrales, one of the 2 or 3 best performances I have ever seen live. I was like, wow, that must have been what Ray Leonard's like. But the thing that I don't like is when these guys like Ryan and Teal would say, well, before we get to the money part of Mayweather, we got to be oh, God, jerk off motion that. You guys don't even mean it. You guys are just saying it. It's just mental masturbation because you guys think it sounds cool. But you guys have actually never done anything to really build any type of real case. But they're very lucky that there's not a lot of depth in boxing, and the networks have kind of lost control of quality control. And the sanctioning bodies allow it. I mean, Teofimo Lopez, last I checked, Coach, didn't he lose 11 out of 12 rounds to Shakur?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
If not all 12.
So how the hell does that qualify for a welterweight title shot? I think these are the things that, here's the thing, Coach. Guys like you and I, we feel this way because we've seen boxing in a better state.
Yeah.
That is the reality. If you didn't see it in the mid-'80s on, you're not going to have an appreciation. There's no context. There's no starting point, right? But if you saw it, where Hagler, let me give you one more Hagler story before I leave. Hagler, after he beats Hearns, I mean, that was a pretty damn good fight. I mean, he went through 30 rounds in about 8 minutes, right? So he thought he had retired for a while because he got sick of the grind. He said, you know what, I've done it. But when he was talked into fighting, the number 1 rated contender in all 3 major sanctioning bodies was a guy by the name of John the Beast Mugabe.
Yeah.
He was 25-0 with 25 knockouts, and he had been on NBC. And I remember as a kid going, God damn, this guy is a beast. Like, he just looks scary. And this is what would happen today if a Hagler-like figure had a Mugabe. He'd be like, well, who's he? I don't need to fight him. He let him build something up. He's on the wrong side. They give you all this bull junk, right?
Right.
Hagler had no doubt, like, well, that's my obligation, and I have to fulfill it. Again, there's a word called honor. We've lost that in boxing.
Man, Steve, I want to thank you for coming on the show, taking your time out, your busy schedule. Is there anything else that you would like to close with before you go?
No, just keep watching the fights you want to. You boxing fans, I believe someone needs to stick up for you. I am not fighter first. I don't believe when Nico Ali Walsh says, boxing's great when fighters are put first. No, it's not. Fighters being put first has put us in this situation. Yeah. Boxing is better when the fans come first. That's the reality. The customer matters, or they should. And with that said, if you're a fan, subscribe to my Substack at stevekimboxing.substack.com.
All right, I did. I subscribed. I'll drop the link in there in the chat.
Well, I appreciate that. Now, I'll be having articles. I just dropped a short Korean co-sale podcast. And later on today on YouTube, the 3 knockdown rule with Mario Lopez and I come out.
All right. You said at 4 o'clock. So that'll be 7 o'clock East Coast time. East Coast time. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. Shout out to Steve Kim, man. Let's give him a round of applause. Yeah, man. Let me drop these phone lines, man. Let's go to a short commercial break, man. Y'all hit the like button for the old boy.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Funk K. And thank you for watching True Media Podcast with Coach Malachi. True Media Podcast. Did I say that right? Huh? Well, anyway, I got a question I want to ask. Why is it so hard for y'all just to simply hit that damn like button? Huh? Now, Coach Malachi get up every day entertaining y'all when he could really been going out there chilling with his family, eating some neck bone and rice or something like that. But instead, he chose to come up here to entertain y'all, and y'all ain't hitting the like button. Now go hit the like button. Why you ain't hit that like button, huh? Go hit that like button with your hog head cheese looking self. Coach Malachi doing a hell of a job. The least you can do is hit the like button, y'all.
Let me go ahead and let me play this one more time so y'all can see what Chris Mannix had to say about this situation.
He is taking like 8-4 in a chess match type of fight that Devin wins because he's more experienced overall. He's more experienced at the weight. Walking away now, I don't know what his next opportunity is. From what I'm told, Top Rank doesn't owe him a fight again until May of 2027. Like they don't have, what they can do now is, follow the letter of the law on the contract, offer him his minimums, have him, offer him fights with like Brian Norman Jr. or Tiger Johnson or some of these guys that they've got on their stable. The kind of fights that don't represent big paydays, that don't represent the kind of big opportunities that Keyshawn is looking for. He is taking a tremendous risk here. And look, maybe it'll pay off. He did.
Hey, man, it is what it is, man. That's what they say, man. But the boy taking a tremendous risk. But hey, again, maybe he knows some Top Rank and everybody else in Top Rank and the people of the zone. Maybe he knows something that they don't know. Maybe there's some kind of Jedi mind trick, or I don't know. Maybe he talked to Dr. Umar or something of that sort. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. Let's get ready to drop these phone lines, man, so I can talk to the people.
You want to talk some shit? Call me. Start some shit, bitch.
Sup, fool? You gonna talk shit about me, homie? Where you from?
Hundreds of niggas is waiting for your motherfucking call, and they all talking shit about you right now.
Call the coach at 530-494-9636. We waiting on your bitch ass. Man, shout out to everybody, man, in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hold on, we got the phone lines open all goddamn ready now. I love talking to Steve Kim, bro, because, I'll call her. Hold on. Steve Kim is one of the only guys in the industry that I can talk to. Steve Kim, Dougie Fisher, Buddy McGirt, those guys, Tim Bradley, some of those guys I can just talk to, and we just go to talking about boxing, and you just get lost in the conversation because I love boxing, and the other person I'm talking to love boxing, and and then we go to talk about. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, how it was and this and that and different styles. And we do draw the comparisons. And he made a valid point. These guys today, they have nothing to draw a comparison to. This is all they know. They only know they were born in the 2000s, 98, 99 on up. This is all they know. They know TikTok, Instagram, social media. They know this. So in their mind, this is what it is. You pound for pound because you tweet good. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Raymond from Illinois, coach.
Raymond, talk to me.
Yeah, I agree with him. He had a good point, and like all a lot of his points towards that, like these boxes today, like when nobody be talking about this, Keyshawn, if you wouldn't have moved up and enforced your mandatory to get a better, and then you turn it down because you want more money, and then you only got like you say, you only got 15 fights, and you demanding shit against a champion that you moving up the weight want to fight. Like this, all a lot of his points towards it, man. Like they choose who they want to fight and how much they want to fight them for. Like when I was watching not the cigar talk shit, and Bill Haney came on there and he asked me like, man, nigga, you said you would fight Conor Dan at 154, but you want to fight Devin Haney at 144. He's like, why is that? And like you say, nigga get to deflect me. Now when you go up and fight Boots, then
go to deflecting, yeah.
These
deflecting,
niggas, they like you say, it ain't no accountability. They choose who they want to fight. And that is, you have me crying, coach. I watched that shit, man. And then he came on there and he was like, yeah, I want to fight Devin at 144 after Keyshawn pulled out. So Bill came on there and was like, man, I'm not going to play with this dude. He said, man, we were talking to you first, and then dude pulled the weird shit, and then we finna fight him, Then he pull out. He said, then here come this dude behind the rock talking about he want to fight at 144. So I'm like, yeah, these niggas playing, man. Like, these niggas not really trying to fight unless they trying to get some easy money. Like I say, with like how Ryan Garcia and Conor Dan, that shit gonna be easy. I see Ryan winning that.
Yeah.
But I don't see a lot of these fighters like pushing the needle like that in the sport. He had a good point with that. Like we need the best fighters to fight the best more. Like Bam, we got Anyway, and we just need more of that. That's why I fuck with them.
And the thing is, we can't. The reason why I don't agree with the Bam, I agree with Steve with Bam, but Bam fights at 115 or 118. He's at a weight division that you're not going to be a household name in that weight division. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a great, phenomenal fighter, but he's not. You know what I mean? So
right.
It's the, we need some good Black American fighters and some good Mexican fighters like the Julio Cesar Chavez and Antonio Barrera. You know what I mean? Eric Morales, those guys. They're not household names, but they fought a lot. And when you especially in this era where everything go by so fast, this is the social media era. Something could be popping on Monday, and then by the time Saturday gets here, we don't move on to another subject matter. Ain't nobody thinking about what happened Monday. So in this era to where everybody has ADHD and this and that, you have to continuously fight. You like this era, they should be fighting 4 times a year at least. I had a fight in January. I'm fighting again in April. I'm fighting again in August, and I'm gonna close the year out with another fight. You see what I'm saying? Because in this era, like Devin Haney haven't fought since November last year. That's a long ass time.
Yeah, it is. That's like. Man, like you say, Cole, it's a lot of boxing that we could have had stacked up on top of cards instead of waiting on one fighter or waiting on this fight. And you can see other fighters like Raymond Moore, Tyler get more exposed, or fighters everybody don't know. But man, that's my call, Coach.
Salute, fam. Shout out to Raymond, man, Illinois. Yeah. I like talking to my boxing guys because you know what I mean. I can get some good boxing conversations. I can't get no good boxing conversation with these motherfuckers on YouTube. They be like, yeah, these motherfuckers don't know nothing, man. Nigga telling me, yeah, he's about. Carla, hold on. Nigga talking to me about swag and my fighter should get paid this. They use some dumb ass talking points. Like I said before, he putting his life on the line. Yeah, but the dude you're fighting is putting his life on the line too. Do he deserve $15 million? Do he deserve $5 million? And again, you chose to put your life on the line. You put your life on the line when you was a little kid as a boxer, right? You put your life on the line when you was fighting in the amateurs, right? You put your life on the line when you fought in the Olympics, right? This ain't no different than what you've been doing. When you was 1-0, you were putting your life on the line, and the dude you was fighting was putting his life on the line. So guess what? The electrician is putting his life on the line. The construction worker who's building a skyscraper, who's 54 floors up in the sky with a harness on, he putting his life on the line. Do he deserve $5-6 million? So nigga, what you talking about? See, I destroy all these niggas talking points. Bro, your talking points is flawed. Carter, what's your name? You calling from?
It's Curtis from Long Beach.
Curtis, talk to me.
Man, all signs point to Keyshawn probably getting shelved, top rank. That's, once you fuck with them, Bob good for it. He old school. He ain't putting up with the bullshit. He put bigger fighters than him on the shelf. He put Mikey Garcia on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? And Mikey was selling out. Mikey had big fights that he could have made. And he put him on the shelf. So why wouldn't he put Keyshawn on the shelf? You know what I mean? You see what Virgil Ortiz just went through, like, these dudes are, bigger than you. Like, you're doing bad business. They was trying to get more money, and, they were bigger than you. So how you gonna do this? And then, you were saying that, the coach was saying that you was negotiating, and then Top Rank gives Dan Rafael the real story. Dan say, you never negotiated. They gave you the $3 million offer. You didn't even counter and say, hey, you know what, we want $4. You just immediately pushed for the first bid. So you didn't even negotiate with him, which made the situation even worse.
Which means that he never had any intentions on fighting Devin Haney. They thought Devin Haney was going to drop that belt. They thought Devin Haney bro. I had this conversation with Bill, and he don't mind me sharing it because I said it openly on this platform when he was here. I said, bro, look, y'all will be, bro, listen, chasing Shakur Stevenson, leave that man alone. That dude playing games. I've been watching boxing long enough to know when fighters want to fight each other, the fight get done like that. Shakur Stevenson, he's a kid. He acts very childish online. He's a kid. And he doesn't move like Hagler, Dwight Muhammad Quaid. He doesn't move like those guys. These millennials, the Gen Z fighters, they different. They are a different group of people. They are some of the most entitled group of kids I've ever seen in my life. They lie so much. They got old niggas running cover for them. That's what's so disheartening. You have guys my age, Generation X, and in the millennial generation running cover for Gen Zers, stamping these niggas. They ain't did nothing. Like, yeah, you supposed to be in the world 10, but nigga, who you be? Like, fam, like, how? Okay, he the next hog head cheese sandwich because Andre Ward said so, because Floyd Mayweather said so. Like, we don't believe that guys have to. They very well may be that, but they're not there yet. So he may have more things to do to get there. They automatically giving it to him because the eye test. What the fuck that mean? Go ahead.
Yeah, and we can say what we want about Devin, but they low key making Devin the face of boxing. Like, even Shakur right now, he's flat out admitted. Like, he didn't say that he wanted to fight. He's saying that Zupa wants to fight. They want the Devin fight. Yeah. He ain't saying this is what I want. He's saying this is what Zupa wants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he don't even really want that fight. And then the narrative is changing about Devin. Like, everybody looking at Devin like, hey, man, you got to be the face because you all everybody is talking about. They're only talking about you and your situation, and you ain't even fighting. This fight's coming up, and they ain't even talking about the other fights. They just talking about the fight that didn't happen.
So this is the definition. Based on what you just said, this is the definition of the face of boxing in today's time. Whoever we talk about a lot on social media, that means you're the face. That's it. So the face of boxing, the face of boxing in America in today's time is any fighter who we talk about on social media. So we talking about Keyshawn Davis, he the face, because everybody talking about you. And we talking about Devin Haney, you the face, because everybody talking about you. Like the real definition of what the face of boxing used to be and what it is today is two different definitions. So, and that's what I'm realizing. Superstar, what used to be a superstar in yesterday's time is totally different in today's time. Let's see, we got superstar. What else we got? I wrote the word down. I said, because I told Steve I didn't want to forget it. Superstar and face of boxing. They have two different meanings in 2026 than it did 15, 20 years ago. I'll let you finish.
And again, I only give Dev his props because, like I always say, man, they live up to they little saying. Everybody else is saying everything but let's fight. It's never an issue on their end from all these, failed negotiations. They always accept.
That's
it's
true.
always the other side. So that's why I give Davis props. Like, he didn't have no problems. The dude that everybody picked to knock him out, he didn't have no problems fighting Brian Norman. And
No,
he
he
made
didn't.
it look easy.
No, he didn't. Yeah,
You know what I'm
he
saying?
had a problem fighting
And he
Brian
did
Norman
it.
at
And he did it. Yeah, you know, so I give Davis props, and I think he is the only one out here that's on a, you know, legacy chase that will be Hall of Fame that I can say right now for sure. He already been undisputed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who knows what he's going to do at 147? Like, he's the only one that I look at, and that's, you know, that's the only fighter I fuck with right now. So that's my call.
Salute, fam. Yeah, this shit, the face of boxing and superstar is a word that just, bruh, I can think of 5 or 6 fighters that's the face of boxing in America, according to what their fan bases are saying. Maybe 10. This nigga the face of boxing. This nigga the cash cow. This nigga the face of boxing. That nigga is the he's a superstar. You a superstar. They a superstar. She's a superstar. Them a superstar. That's a superstar. Like, you get what everybody superstars. Everybody, you get what I'm saying? Like, come on, fam. And it's the old niggas. Bro, it's the old niggas who did this. Let me see. I gotta read the super chats. Shout out to Sid. He said Keyshawn, thank you, Lomachenko. I read that one. He says, given not ready. I read that one. Shout out to Rod.
Hey, okay.
Rod say Prince and Curry set up Key like that mama hoe. I read that already. Hold on. Caller, hold on. Shout out to Chose Wizard. What to say, fam? Dropping that quarter of a dub.
Hey, okay.
He said Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson don't realize they ain't headliners, but are certified ducks. So now they got to fight Tank for visibility or stay obscure. They can't even fight Tank because Tank don't even fight no more. Like, how you gonna fight a nigga that don't even fight? Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, bro, it's man. Shout out to Mike.
Hey, okay.
Jumping out $2 super chat. He said keep watching all the shows, thinking of an excuse. Yeah. Call back. Call back. He hung the phone up. I told him, hang on. I told him, hold on. Caller hung the phone up. So yeah, just call back. Yeah, I sit back, man, and you know, get what I'm saying? It's just that, you know, like, bro, like, they look at me like I got 9 heads, you know, because I got a criteria and all that shit. Again, bro, as I said before, I care nothing about the access, you know what I mean? Like, all these dudes on the same level to me, in my eyes, you know. I haven't drunk the Kool-Aid. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Willie from New York.
Willie from New York, talk to me.
Yup, Willie, yup. What's up, coach?
What's up with you?
Hey, you know, I got, you know, I'm feeling some type of way right now, and I want to talk to Keyshawn. I got some words for this motherfucker, right? So Keyshawn Davis, yeah, you fucked up. You know that, right? You fucked up. Not only you fucked up your shit, you fucked up my shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you why. But before I get to that, you know, I want you to know that, you know, I should have never had faith in you. I knew, like, you was funny style when you came in overweight. But you know what? My heart said, nah, he ain't like that. I should have known it when you ducked, what else you do? When you came overweight, when you ducked Devin. Right? I'm like, hold up. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? He done fucked up a lot. I was supposed to go to Vegas, go out there, see a fight. I had a shorty doo-wop out there I was supposed to meet, get away from the kids, the missus. You fucked that up. So guess what, nigga? I'm on your ass like white on rice. I'm on your ass like a motherfucker looking at a big butt. You know what I'm saying? Butterface correction officer. You know what I'm saying? I'm on your ass. You know what I'm saying? But you fucked up a lot. But I'm going to tell you one thing. You hear me? Because I know you listening. The only way you can get our respect back, you got to fight Shakur Stevenson. That's it. You fight Shakur, you can get my respect back. But until then, we fire sticking your shit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't pulling up to no events because you fooled us. You came overweight. You know what I'm saying? You motherfucker did a whole bunch of bullshit. And the only way you can get our respect back, you fight Shakur Stevenson. You hear me?
if you let that motherfucker play you. You know what I'm saying? We call his son. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, he basically saying like, yo, I ain't Keyshawn Davis, but you know, I'm different. I ain't put you like Keyshawn Davis. So he trying to take your glory. You know what I'm saying? They set you up. They hit you with the fun plan, and you don't even know it. So the only way you can get our respect back, you got to fight Shakur Stevenson to make up for all this shit. Till then, we fire sticking your shit, nigga. You hear me? That's all I got, coach.
All right, salute, fam. I gotta let the brother get out. Yeah. I just look at it, man. Like, you know, again, you know, I try to hold the old school cats accountable because these old school cats, they have become milk toast as well. They become milk toast. They watered down, and it's like they coddle these Gen Zers. And because we are growing up in, you know, like they not growing up in the tough time era. So everything is very easy for them. Everything is just very nonchalant, caller, what's your name? Where you call it from?
Jamie from New York.
Jamie, talk to me.
First things first. Great interview, bro.
I appreciate
everything you said, brother. Everything that man said, I agree with him 1,000%, bro. We all feel the same way. So, you know, boxing, bro, boxing's a joke, man. Today, in America. But, you know, Keyshawn Davis, if you want fights, my advice to you, whenever you see Bob Arum, you're going to have to drop to your knees, bro, and line some fights. Do whatever you got to do, man, because, hey, it's not happening. And I wish him luck with that, too, you know? Keyshawn Davis and his team, man, they played themselves, bro, you know? All his crew, man, looking bad right now. And let me ask you this, Coach. If Top Rank were to put this kid on the shelf, right, legally, how long can they do it for?
Well, it says that they are required by contract to make sure he have a fight by May of next year. So I think he just had a fight May this year. I'm not sure, but they can keep him on the shelf until May next year because he got a couple of fights left on this contract. So they can say, okay, well, you ain't gonna fight no more this year, so we'll just make sure you have a fight by May next year. You know what I mean? So, you know, according to the contract, according to what Chris Mannix said, that Top Rank told him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But Coach, a similar situation happened with Felix Verdejo. The guy, you know, the clown, got into a motorcycle accident, got hurt, and pissed off Bob Arum. And, you know, I put him on the shelf, man. And I feel that they're going to do the same thing they did to him. I don't know if you remember this or not, Coach, but when he came back, they gave him all the hard fights, man. And that's when he started losing, you know. I think Keyshawn is going to get a taste of that, you know. These guys, man, they got to honor their contracts, bro. And these are not little boys, bro. All these motherfuckers have Clarissa Shields energy, man. It's way too much, bro. That's not manly. I already know they get no pussy. But, Coach, I'll be honest with you, man. If they put him on the shelf, that's the right punishment, bro. These motherfuckers got to learn. That's my call, bro.
All right. See, I gotta put this on the old heads. The old heads were the ones who were coddling. When I say the old heads, I'm talking about the millennial. They the ones who was coddling the Gen Zers. They was coddling them. You know, yeah, man, you ain't got to do this and you automatically that and you get what I'm saying? I'm like, no, man, like, no, bro, like, then you motherfucker got to climb the ladder. No, you ain't got to climb the ladder, dog. Get on the elevator. Go all the way to the top. You good. Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to Miss Parker. Shout out to Reggie Owens. Shout out to The Natural. Shout out to CJ from the 504. Shout out to Aquila. Shout out to Brandy. Who else we got here, man? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what up, Coach? It's Coach Eddie from ATL.
Coach Eddie, talk to me.
Hey, good talk, good interview, good talking points today, man. Everything you've been saying is spot on.
I can't hear you, man. I know you're talking to me to the Bluetooth through your car, but it's kind of hard to hear you.
Oh, is that better?
Yes, better.
Okay, yeah. So it was a good interview today, man. Good talking points today. And when listening to you and Steve Kim talk, man, it kind of was sad, but it was kind of realistic at the same time too, because when he brought up that point about Marvin Hagler coming back to fight the younger guy.
John the Beast Mugabe. The Beast.
Yeah.
25-0, 25 knockouts. Yeah.
Destroyer. He was a destroyer.
And he was way bigger than Hagler. He was bigger than Hagler.
Yeah. These old guys today, they don't fight the young guys. They say them guys is high risk, no reward.
Hell, the young guys don't fight the young guys for the most part. So
ain't nobody fight nobody.
I'm just saying.
I say, you know why? I say because it's so much money in boxing right now that these guys is fighting once a year. I think that's the difference. Back then, those guys wouldn't get paid all that money, so they had to fight 2-3 times a year. These dudes are getting $5, $10, $15 million. They disappear for a whole year.
Well,
and then when they do come back, they need a tune-up. But they ain't fought so long.
Well, Hagler was in a position of his career because he was really rich at that time. He was in a position he didn't have to fight John the Beast Mugabe. He chose to fight him. He didn't have to fight him.
Right.
Hagler had plenty of money at that time of his career. That was what, 1986. That was 1986 when they fought. He didn't have to fight him because look at all the other people he fought. You know, Hagler ain't dug nobody. Look at all the other people he fought. So if he chose not to fight John the Beast Mugabe, I couldn't have got mad at him because he fought everybody else. Hagler had what? Almost 70 fights. He was 62-3, 62-3-1. He had 66 fights.
Hey, you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say this, Coach. Then I'm gonna leave it alone. The reason why Hagler is different because he wanted to fight him. It's not that he had to. He wanted to.
Yeah.
That was his mentality. He said, y'all said this dude is the best. Y'all said he's a killer. I want to fight him. And that's the difference between these guys today and guys that's cut from that cloth. Like Roy Jones wanted to fight the guy. James Toney wanted to fight the guy that they said was the big bad wolf. These guys today, they be looking for a way around that. So, like I say, it is what it is. We just got to enjoy boxing for what it is right now. There's a few guys, I'm keep my eye on. I think they're going to kind of move the needle, but I'm still going to watch them. They still got a little bit more proving to do, but, it's only a handful of guys out there that's really holding up the sport right now because it's an action. 10 Crawford are retired. So now we got a vacuum in the sport. Canelo's going to retire, so who's going to fill that void? You know what I mean? Who's going to step into that void to carry the sport of boxing? We going to see. Hey, that's my call, Coach.
Yeah, see, I'm not so quick to crown nobody yet. That's the difference between me. I'm not the guy that, because there's a void, let me find somebody to put there and then try to justify it. No, I'm like, no, because I got my boxing criteria. See, who you fight matters. Yeah, you could be a 4 division champ, whatever. Who you fight matters. As I said, I think I'm gonna put together a pound for pound list just based on my criteria. I'm not gonna have 10 people on that list. I can tell you, it ain't gonna be 10 on there. As I told Steve, I believe that you don't have to have goddamn because you got 10 slots, 10 people. It may only be 4 that's doing everything. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Hold on. What you say your name is, brother?
Ant from DC.
Man, Ant from DC. Talk to me, brother.
Yeah, man. I had to call you back, man, about the old motherfuckers, man. That goddamn Andre Ward, man. Andre Ward, man. If you sit and listen to him, man, he's starting to be a real sucker with the boxing game, man. He's trying to tell these motherfuckers they shouldn't fight each other, man. Which is wrong. That's why him and Roy Jones got into it that day. They got into it. And a lot of these guys are taking, they listening to these guys saying that they shouldn't fight one another. That shit got to stop, man. Got to stop. I know we talking about Keyshawn stupid ass, but we can leave that motherfucker alone, man. He gonna be what he be.
You're right about that. See, this is what I was saying. See, Andre Ward represent the millennial boxing era, and you got some guys from my generation saying the same. Some of them saying the same thing. They have helped they have coddled these guys because they got personal relationships with these fighters. And yeah, you're a fighter, I'm a fighter, I know what you're going through. And they coddling them and they try to look down on anybody who ain't boxed before. Nigga, Dan Rayfield ain't boxed before. Dougie Fisher ain't boxed before. But these motherfuckers know boxing. You don't have to be a boxer to know boxing. Just like you don't have to be just like you don't have to be a content creator to know how to make content. Like, a lot of you guys, get what I'm saying? Like, you can't be little me because you ain't box. That don't mean I don't know when a nigga running. That don't mean I don't know when a nigga ducking. That don't mean I don't know when the motherfucker ain't trying to fight the next guy or whatever. I know what the fuck I'm looking at. You ain't gonna try to be little me, nigga.
He got my favorite fighter talking the same shit. He got Terrence Crawford talking the same shit. I'm like, come on, y'all. Cut this dumb shit out, man. Like Roy said, man. No, if the motherfucker step over that motherfucking line, we gonna get it. Period. I don't care who you are. We gonna have to get it in, man. And look, that old brother shit, Keyshawn and what you say, the pretty motherfucker from New Jersey with the dimples.
With the dimples, yeah.
And they gotta stop that shit. Stop that stupid shit, man. Cause he's starting to move like Tank, man. If you ask me, he's doing the same shit, ducking motherfuckers like Tank did. If you ask me, that's how I'm looking at it, man. That's all I got to say, though, dog.
Salute, fam. Yeah, man. Right now, dog, I'm just like, it is what it is. I mean, I'm listening to these guys online, and this is the problem. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stand on what I stand on. I'm going to stand on what I stand on. It is what it is. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. Fuck it. I'm going to stand on what I stand on. It is what it is. Again, you on your side, I'm on my side. I ain't got no problem with that. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Raymond from Illinois. Coach.
Raymond 2 times.
Yeah, man. I just realized what the last call just said, and now I understand what y'all was saying now because I watched that podcast before Boots and who was the last name you just saw? What was his nigga name? Just Boots and
Xander Zayas.
Shit, the Puerto Rican. And Xander Zayas. It was a podcast they was on and Andre Ward was like, yeah, but you gotta give Xander Zayas credit because he didn't have to take this fight. A lot of fighters not taking that fight. He's too young here and Roy Jones cut him off. I don't want to hear that too young shit. He said, you got champions that had 9 title defenses at the age of 22. He was like, I don't want to hear that too young shit. Once you go get that belt and you decide you want to go get the belt, you at the top of the hill. Now they coming to get you. You got to defend that belt.
Yep.
So ain't I don't want to fight him and I don't want to do this and that. No, that's your job once you decide you want to be the champion. And he told him, if you don't want to be the champion and you scared to fight, then put some belts down and let somebody else fight for him. And I understood where Roy was coming from then, and now I see where y'all are coming from. Because these niggas, Andre Ward was basically saying that niggas don't have to fight the best once they get in a position, and that's the problem. You niggas stalling the belts and hold the divisions up and shit, and we don't know who is who because it's 100 belts. You got all the Reggie belts, niggas stalling Reggie belts. It's like, man, yeah, this shit's getting ridiculous, man. And I see what the boxing fans saying about this shit. But that just brought my memory back to it, though, Coach. That's my call.
Salute, fam. Shout out to Mike.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that quarter of a dub. He said Ray Leonard, Hitman Hearns, and Duran ducked the Beast. Hagler was the only one that fought the 4 kings that will fight the Beast. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm not going to sit here and say that you're right on that. I got to do research on that. I'm not going to sit here and say you're right on that. You're saying that Ray Leonard and Hearns and them ducked the John the Beast Mugabe. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I'm gonna do my research on that. I can't just take your word on that. I don't know about that. Cause I don't know if they were still in the middleweight division at that time. Carla, hold on. Cause I got an interview from John the Beast Mugabe. Matter of fact, I got it right now. I got an interview from John the Beast Mugabe, and I know how they was moving John the Beast Mugabe real careful. I got an interview from his trainer. Because John the Beast Mugabe was in the ring. There was his last fight that he had prior to fighting the Hagler. They moved him along. You get what I'm saying? There's interviews on that. So yeah, I don't know about that, fam. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Coach? It's Derek from Florida.
Derek, talk to me.
Yeah.
You sound
hey, Coach,
muffled.
I
You
got
sound
a
muffled,
question.
but go ahead.
All right, hold on. Can you hear me a little bit? Let me go now.
You sound better.
All right, how about now? All right. Hey, Coach, I got a question, but like, who's the close on the fight? Coach, look, they asked him about Rayo. If he want to fight on Rayo's brother, he turned it down. The man don't want to fight Shakur. You feel me? Yeah, we already know he don't want to fight Devin. On top of that, and he clout that he said Antoine Russell, but I highly doubt it. I'm like, cool. Who do you think he's gonna fight? Like, this nigga ain't trying to fight nobody. Coach.
Yeah, I don't. Man, I'm not even gonna lie, man. I really don't care. I'm kind of like done with Shakur at this point. I really don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't care, bro. I don't. We gonna get some good fights on Twitter from him.
One more thing, Coach. You know what really made him look cookie? When he fought Edwin. Well, Rayo knocked him out, and when he fought Edwin, he ran. He didn't even try to take chances. Like, you could put hands on Edwin or test his chin. You feel me? He didn't even try none of that. That really made him look cookie. So Rayo knocked him out. And yeah, man, I think he's gonna fight. The pit bull. Why? He's gonna break up a little pit bull. Well, he's gonna be something though. Why? Y'all ain't gonna like. He's gonna break up some bullshit fight. But yeah, that's my call.
All right. Yeah, I just, I mean, I see what it is. I see what it is. And so, and this is what I tell y'all. I tell y'all this here, right? I tell y'all this here. It's best, Carla, hold on. It's best to be a fan of your favorite fighter from a distance. Because when you get to know them, they're going to let you down. And what I mean by that, not let you down, but I mean just like this generation of fighters. Like once Bud retired, it's like, shit, Bud gone, man. God damn. I had kind of like lost my passion for it a little bit. And it showed because it was like, damn, I ain't, because I know what's after him. When Canelo retired, I know what's after him. When the new way retiring, the old guard is leaving. Wilder gone. Joshua, he finna be out of here. Fury, a new way finna be gone. And also, I see, I'm talking about American boxing. I see what's here. I'm like, so. And I hear the older guys, the millennial boxers who retired, they are running cover for their fighters who they are friends of. That's what's going on. Carla, what's your name? Carla.
What up, Coach Yamas?
Yamas, talk to me.
Yo, Coach, I gotta give you, before I even start my call, I want to give you some props because I gotta give you credit because every day at 3, you make content and the shit is always good, man. And there's not a lot going on right now, but I gotta respect your grind, man. Because the fact that I'm calling, ain't much going on in the game, man. But I just wanted to say, like, everybody is I used to move for the athletes to get control, but like Steve Kim said, that could be bad for the fans, because like when they didn't have control, they was forced to have certain matchups that was better for us, and it's like now that they got this control, and then you got like Turkey out of seed paying niggas for nothing. It's kind of like we the all man out, the fans, man. And yo, this dude turned down $3 million. Nigga, nobody knows you, man. I'm sorry to say, like, if you don't watch this shit, nigga, I watch. I'm a big fan. And I don't really know much about this dude like that for you to turn that kind of money down, man. But, we in the era of your truth, which means your delusion, in my opinion. I hate that fucking shit. Oh, it's my truth. No, man. That's some bullshit you believe. That ain't got nothing to do with facts. That's some shit you convince yourself. That don't mean we gotta go for that shit or the public. Cause like, yo, I could do some bullshit, get jammed up, and that judge, Judge, this is my truth. Yeah, all right. See how that far that gets you, man. And it's like, it's crazy because when I talk about the athletes in control, I look at the LeBron situation. Like, yo, he's on the decline crazy, man. He goes to Philly. They got all this hoop out. Where's he going? Where's he going? Them niggas ain't winning shit with him. That's the reality of it, man. He ain't the player he used to be. He wants the ball all game. And like we in that era, we not worried about substance. We more worried about who's popular and who gets attention now. And like it's ruining boxing, ruining sports. Yo, I would say it's ruining society, in my opinion, man. That's just me, Coach. Maybe I'm crazy, but yo, like homeboy called in, he say from New York, talking about they were born this weekend and he had some CEO bitch. No, that nigga don't even know you alive, man. Like that nigga don't care about you. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm old school. I'm getting older and shit, man. But that's my call, Cole. I had to get that in, man. Thank you for the good content.
Yes, sir. Salute, fam. Yeah, I get it. I understand where we at, what era we in. I get it. And again, I'm not really gonna complain about it. I make adjustments. I see what it is. I don't listen to outside. I know what this shit's supposed to be. I know what I grew up watching, and I know what I'm seeing now, and I know what it is, right? And this is the reality of the situation. As I said before, fighters have a fraternity. They are a part of the fighter fraternity, the boxers, right? And then you got the fans and then the fighters. What I'm trying to get y'all to understand, the disconnect is this here. There's a whole new game today, right? And the fighters fraternize with each other. I'll call it, hold on. The fighters fraternize with each other. And, that's just the reality of the situation. And me and you are not a part of that club. And so when you have fighters who now they're working in the media, some of them, not all, but some of them, they conform. And they push this new school shit. You get what I'm saying? And they try to diminish anyone who don't, oh yeah, well, I was a boxer, so I know what I'm talking about. No, fuck you don't. Because when you was a boxer, you did the total opposite of what you telling this nigga to do. So how the fuck you gonna tell me that this what he should do when you didn't do that when you was boxing? It was what you did that made you establish yourself as the boxer that's now you in the Hall of Fame or finna go to the Hall of Fame or whatever the case may be. The level of hypocrisy is ridiculous. Did you get what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. We just agree to disagree on that. I ain't finna kiss no nigga ass over this shit. I'm not. Not Coach Malachi. I don't know how to kiss ass. I don't. I wasn't taught that. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Damien from Baltimore.
Damien, talk to me, brother.
Hey, man. Steve Kim said a lot in that short interview. And he's saying what I've been thinking. And for him to be an insider, it kind of, for me, made sense. The fighters, like we'll use Keyshawn, for instance, since he's the topic. He's not going to take that. Everybody's saying that, hey, you turned down that $3 million. But that's $3 million for a tough fight. He going to fight that tomato can for that same, for the $2 million. So for him, the math is mathing. Because now I get to tweet, I get to talk shit and say, I'm that guy, I beat my chest, he beat a can, we knew he was going to win. But for the promoters making money because they duping everybody. Like, hey, this is my guy. He ain't never taken a fight that we really want to see. So it's like they are winning. In my opinion, I don't agree with it at all. But I think that the promoters, they just convince those guys like, hey man, why would you take the Devin Haney fight when you can get this other fight here you can fight Nia Albright for little or nothing, but we're gonna keep the train rolling. We just gonna keep you fighting. So I don't know how it's gonna affect with all of them being on one network now. I'm not sure how it will work now, but like for me, that Steve Kim interview summed up the entire boxing situation as far as the superstars or the quote unquote, because we don't really have the superstars not fighting frequently, to them, the networks not playing ball with one another. It just summed it up. It's like sports entertainment. We say it all the time. It's really fucking WWE at the end of the day. And I removed my emotions quite some time ago. And now when the fight come on,
You know, it's like, I don't get excited to run home for, because we already know who's going to win for the most part. We're not blind. But, you know, they got people on Twitter fussing and fighting about this dumb shit. Like, they sitting there laughing. I feel like Jay Prince laughing. I agree with you 100%. They never, ever was going to take that fucking fight. No. They were never going to. He played stupid like he ain't know nothing. The WBO president was on Cigar Talk, said that Keyshawn knew the whole goddamn time that they moved him up. He knew everything. He played like he ain't know, like they moved. Man, listen, that shit WWE, and for any of y'all to get all excited about it, y'all crazy. I know you love the sport. I love the sport as well. But bullshit. Just enjoy the fights that we get. So let's get excited for Rolly and Tio.
Hey, Damon, check this out. I see. We already knew this. We didn't need him to tell us that to know this, because there's no way. I remember when Keyshawn got moved up. I said, ain't no way in here you got moved up to 147 and you ain't know nothing about it. Well, I said that on this show. I said, what fighter in the history of boxing moves up to a different weight division and have no knowledge of it? Nobody. No, y'all moved. The only reason they did that was to protect Shakur Stevenson. All of this is about like Keyshawn Davis is disposable. He's expendable. We got to protect Shakur at all costs. You send Ray down to the 130 to take care of Shock, and then now we send the Bill come out talking about the Zupa got big money for me and Shakur, the Devin Haney and Shakur to fight each other. They say Shakur get wind up and he go over there sign. He admit that on Ariel Hawani show, I signed the Zupa, but I ain't signed no contract to say that I'll fight Devin. I just agreed to it verbally. So we can't take your word on it. You can't make a business decision based on what a nigga say out of his mouth. That's one. Especially a guy who's a known liar. Then Jay Prince said something. Jay Prince said, I hope the homie, I got 2 double barrel shotguns pointed at the Haneys. I got him cornered. And guess what Jay Prince said? He said, I believe the homie. I believe the homie go make the right decision. And I'm like, what did he mean by right decision? So if I was an interviewer, which was my main man, I forgot, not Sean Zartel. The interviewer over there, Fight Hype, I would have asked him, what do you mean by you hope the homie make the right decision? What does that mean? And then if I didn't get the answer I was looking for, I would have followed up with, do you mean that you hope that he make the right decision and choose to fight Keyshawn Davis and y'all negotiate to make that fight happen? Is that what you mean? Or do you mean you hope the homie, like I would have gave him a way out. I would have asked him, I would have followed up on that, but they didn't do that. They let him get away.
Yeah, because they all in cahoots, even down to Andre Ward. They all on the pay. Now they're on the payroll now. So now they got to say the bullshit that they really don't feel, and they don't have to. I guess they have to. They on the payroll now, so they have to say that. They can't come out and just say Keyshawn ducked. Why he can't say that? Because he already knew the play that Keyshawn wasn't going to never fight him anyway. They already knew what the play was.
Yeah.
So that's why they not going to come out and badmouth him, because they knew. They already talked. They knew what was going on. They just had the fans. But it's the fans' fault. We love the sport, but it ain't. I don't know, man. We just get the fight.
I don't want to say that ain't the fans' fault. What happens is you got the fighters and then the retired fighters and then the promoters and stuff all on playing games and lying. So the fans are believing the lies, and then when time come out and come to find out it's a lie because what the fighter is doing ain't lining up. That's what it is. They're trying to do a spin job on the fans, and then you got people like me and yourself. We see this shit for what it is. Like, nah, this shit ain't sounding right. Nah. No. Because your spidey senses go off. But shout out to Damon, man. But be more stand up.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Holla.
Yeah, the spidey senses go to tingle. I'm like, no, that ain't sounding right. Caller, what's your name? You call it from?
What's going on, man? It's Choice, man, from the town.
Choice from the town. Talk to me.
Listen, man, I'm from Oakland, just like Bill, just like Devin, and just like Ward. I got respect for both of their careers. And I'm not into the boxing game. But like you, I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. To me, it seemed like a lot of promoters and maybe other investors created these podcasts that a lot of ex-boxers are on. and it's controlled.
It
You know
is.
what I mean? It
No.
already got us. Go ahead.
No. I didn't mean to interrupt you. No, it is. You're spot on it. I don't know about the promoters creating the podcast, but yeah. So the mainstream corporate media, the fighters or the like the different reporters and stuff who have their own part. We got to try to control the narrative because, like me, I'm a part of the Wild Wild West. The Blue Blood Sports TVs, the Dante's Boxing Nations, the Goodfellas, the boxing gyms. We are a part of. Again, I don't know all of these guys I'm mentioning. I only know some of them, but I'm saying
Right,
like
it's the Wild Wild
this
West.
the Wild Wild West, and we're independent, so we're not controlled. I damn sure ain't controlled. I'm gonna say what the fuck I want to say. I got people call me
Right.
that are in boxing. I can't even mention their names. They are in boxing, but they call me and tell me that, look, man, I appreciate what you're doing because you saying the stuff that we want to say, but we can't say it. These are the conversations that I have off this camera. I'm telling you what I know. These dudes know what they doing. They know what the fuck I'm saying is right. Or people like you, they know that but they can't come. They can't say it. They can't say it.
To me, it's starting to look like WWE, WWF.
Yeah.
It's starting to look real plot, real drawn up soap operas. You know what I'm saying? They just doing this whole. What was the guy that ran WWE? What's the
Vince
older
McMahon.
guy? They're doing the Vince McMahon, but it's on Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, it's on TikTok. It's on all these other social media platforms where we used to get Hulk Hogan running in somebody's, locker room, slapping them around. Now it's Twitter thing. This is where the drama's at. This is where the eyes are being drawn to. So I see the play now. I just, I'm 44 years old. So I had to catch on. I'm one of the millennials that you were talking about, like, why the millennials is coddling. And I'm like, we don't coddle. I don't know why.
Yeah, we don't. No, the millennials don't coddle. Hold on. It's some of the Gen Z. It's some of the Gen Zers too coddling. So not all. Not Gen Z. I mean Gen Xers. But not all. But there's some. There's some. Yeah, and it's kind of like
I'm an '80s baby, so I'm like, I don't know where this come from because we latchkey kids. You get a key around your neck, and good luck, and don't turn on nothing until I get home.
Yeah, mama leave a note on the refrigerator. All right, we got the boiled eggs right there. Don't open the door for nobody. Keep the blinds closed. I'll be home we came up in that area.
Put the chicken in the sink.
Yeah.
Turn the water on. Put the chicken in the sink, and don't touch nothing else.
Yeah.
And no, you can't have no company.
Yeah.
It wasn't no calling with us. So I said, "Oh, this shit is scripted. That's what's going on." Okay, I feel you, everybody. Please, y'all. Don't bang on Ward no more. It's a script. Don't be over there, sending death threats and DMs to anybody, breathe, y'all. It's a script. Y'all didn't know y'all was in WWE?
Yeah.
Now you know. Niggas who ain't never made $3 million, $2 million, $1 million is turning down millions of dollars. Why is this world crazy? It's not crazy, y'all. It's just scripted and y'all don't know that. Relax. Okay, well, I'm good now. I had to figure this shit out, man. This shit, because this shit right here almost broke my heart. Like when the Seahawks didn't hand it in the beast mode so he can score the touchdown. This shit is like, what's going on? Oh, it's a script. My bad. All right.
All right, salute, fam. Thank you for calling, bro.
Good out there.
Shout out to Mike.
Okay.
Dropping that quarter of a dub. He said, Coach, can you give a take on any of the boxing matchups you like to see of this era? Man, I want to see all the dudes. I want to see Devin fight Tank fight Shakur fight Keyshawn. Let's see. Boots fight Virgil. Boots fight Fundora fight Virgil. There goes some right there. Shushu, I want to see Shushu become undisputed in the division that he's in. Let him fight them other dudes up there. Fight the top dudes in your division. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. All these top American fighters. My matchup is this here. Caller, hold on. Any so-called top American superstar boxer that's getting co-signed by retired fighters, any of those guys, I want to see them fight each other. That's my matchup. That's what I want to see. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? You the last call.
This is Blood Box in Gainesville, Florida.
Man, Blood, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, Coach, man, I've been keeping up with a little bit of this stuff, man, and I did get an opportunity to see that interview that you're talking about. Well, that discussion with Andre Ward.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. Yeah, man, listen, bro. With friends in boxing, that's been going on forever. A solid example would be Maurice Blocker versus Simon Brown, who were both world champions. These guys went through the grind together. They even lived together. They had to help each other out through hard times. They ended up getting in the ring with each other. Ali basically was friends with a lot of the guys that he fought, mostly, especially in the 70s, when they were looking up to him already. He would help these guys get down payments on homes, all kinds of stuff. Joe Lewis was friends with Max Schmeling. It's been going on forever because, as we know in boxing, these young guys, they meet in the amateur circuit. And some of them become very close. Some of them become enemies, such as Michael Nunn and Frank Tate. But, they build relationships in the amateur circuit and these tournaments that they participated in. We've heard all kinds of stories about Bud Crawford, and he fought this guy, Danny Garcia, and people like that.
Sean Porter
when
was
he was
Sean
in the
Porter was
amateur
close.
circuit.
Yeah, Sean Porter was close.
Yeah, man. So it's been going on a long time. So when these guys talk about their friends and they're not going to fight each other, it kind of like turns my stomach a little bit because this is not something we're used to. There's not very many examples of people, because there's plenty of friends in boxing. I can name tons of them, and who have fought each other. And they had to fight. They had to do what they had to do. And the only time I saw an exception was when the Klitschko brothers was running things in the heavyweight division. You don't really expect the brothers to fight each other.
Real brothers.
Even Wilder one time talked about
real
fighting
brothers.
his brother. Yeah, real brothers. Yeah, not that fake shit that they're going around with now. So, it's kind of like, it's an excuse, man, for these guys not to fight each other, man. All this stuff. I don't care what they've been through. There's been other fighters who've been through way more, such as Ali putting up money for these different fighters to get them out of financial situations. Marlon, what's his name? Simon Brown and Maurice Blocker is a good example. Also, before I go, I want to answer real quick. None of the other four kings ducked, because I heard somebody say John the Beast Mugabe was ducked by the other four kings. It didn't happen because Sugar Ray Leonard wasn't even in boxing. He was trying to only come back for one fight with Marvin Hagler, so he wasn't even a factor. He hadn't fought Sugar Ray Leonard. He was in a retirement. Thomas Hearns was still recovering from the ass whooping he received from Hagler, and he shot up all the way to light heavyweight within that next year. So he was never in the run-ins to fight Mugabe. And then Roberto Duran took a year and a half off after he lost to Thomas Hearns in '84. So he was never around in the atmosphere when Mugabe was coming up. So Mugabe came up as a middleweight, and he used the USBA and all of that stuff and the TV contract to get known, and he was known for carrying a knockout streak. Them other guys, they were not in his sight at that time. After Mugabe lost Hagler, he lost right again, back to back, and he started picking up losses. Yeah. So I just wanted to let the person know that he never did. None of the other guys ducked Mugabe.
Yeah, I didn't remember that at all. That's why I say I don't agree with that. I got to do some research on that because I don't remember any of those guys ducking him. I remember watching an interview of John the Beast Mugabe's trainer. I forgot the white guy's name. He spoke about how, yeah, man, now we feel that the Beast is ready for Hagler and he's ready now, and we're going to try to push for that fight. He was basically saying they was moving him along carefully. You know what I mean? We got his knockout streak up and all that stuff there. He literally was just pretty much saying that. I have the actual video of the interview.
Oh, yeah.
After John the Beast Mugabe, after his last fight, I think he had 25 wins, 25 knockouts. His 25th fight, they did an interview in the ring, and that's what he said.
Well, yeah, there's no way. The other guys weren't even in the atmosphere. Hagler was the undisputed middleweight champion. Right. He had already beat Hearns, Hagler. He hadn't fought Leonard yet. At that time, Leonard was in a retirement. Hearns and Hagler didn't even know which weight class they wanted to campaign at and was kind of getting a little bit inactive for a second. Hearns picked it back up about a year later. But you know, man, just to say, man, the Four Kings, man, y'all always accusing the Four Kings of ducking something they didn't duck all the time. Aaron Pryor and all that, you know, Aaron Pryor was never in the running. If you want to be correct on it, you say the boy from Texas. What's his name, Coach? What's his name? The great fighter from Texas. I can't even think of his name right. Donald Curry.
Donald Curry. Yeah.
Donald Curry and Marlon Starlin is who Sugar Ray Leonard was ducking, because those were the guys who were ranked in the top 5. And I'm just saying, man, you always hear this stuff from these people, man. I don't know where they get this information from.
How do you feel about Mike McCallum? I'm hearing how you feel about Mike McCallum. You feel that Mike McCallum was avoided by the Kings?
Mike McCallum would have more claim to that than John the Beast Mugabe for sure, or Aaron Pryor, because Mike McCallum, even though he was campaigning at junior middleweight, he could have fought either Marvin Hagler or Thomas Hearns. He didn't really make much of a statement other than he beat Julian Jackson.
Yeah, he did.
At that time. At that specific time, he hadn't really made a mistake. So it was kind of like a high risk fight, low reward, because what would have they got? They knew behind the scenes that McCallum could fight because Hearns used to spar him, and Hagler had heard about him too. So why take a risk again with this guy who nobody knows, and you have other fights out there? These guys, they just had other fights. But yeah. McCallum had more of a claim, definitely, than John the Beast Mugabe or Aaron Pryor.
I'm gonna say this in closing for you, Blood. I miss you, dog. I really glad you called the show, man. I'm glad you called, man, because I ain't spoke to you in a while.
Yes, sir.
But I will say this, brother. Mike McCallum turned pro in 1981, if I'm not mistaken. And this what I look at.
Around there.
I look at, well, you may not fight everybody, but who did you fight? I'm not gonna be mad at you. Okay, if you fought Godzilla, King Kong, Mothra, Voltron, and Ultraman, but you didn't fight Vegeta, or you ain't fight Goku. I can't sit back and say, oh, well, Blood dug Goku, but the nigga fought Godzilla, Mothra, King Kong, Gamera. He fought all the other motherfuckers. So you sometimes you ain't gonna fight every person. Like if you fight 9 niggas out of 10, right. I can't say you ducked the 10th person. I mean, I'm just saying me. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I agree. That's how I see it too, man. Yeah, man. Thanks a lot for having me on, Coach, man. Hey, man, I'm going to holler at you, bro. I'll holler at you, man. I got another documentary coming out.
Oh.
Sugar Ray Robinson is coming out, man, and that's what I've been working on. So I'll be back.
All
yes,
right.
Sir.
I appreciate you, man. It's going to be on boxing documentaries, right?
Yes, sir. Retro boxing and documentaries. Yes, sir. The Sugar Ray Robinson documentary coming soon.
I mean, I appreciate
all right,
that,
man. One love, Coach, man.
Yes, sir.
Be easy, my brother.
Yeah, Blood, man. Let me tell you something. Yeah, that dude right there, I'm gonna tell you, it's some 2 motherfuckers that's smart as hell in this sport. I'm talking about Steve Kim, Dougie, especially Dougie Fisher. Blood boxing, he's a boxing historian. Do you get what I'm saying? So I love talking to those guys because those guys know a lot. They know more about boxing than I do. Those are the guys who I say, I sit back and could I be learning shit and talking to them? Blood gave me, I got a box, and I read like 4 of the magazines. Blood gave me a box of just old school ring magazines, like the real magazines, the real ring magazines, just, so I get to see exactly what was going on at that time, what was printed at that time. We talking about, he gave me shit from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. So I know what was in print at that time. Bro, like that man gave me some shit, bro. Shout out to Levi for dropping that. Bam, dub on your boy. What you say, fam? He say, Coach, I'm sorry, man. He say, I'm sorry. Man, American boxing is on life support. I'm following UK boxing until they figure this shit out. Shout out from what you from? Shout out from Ecuador. Ecuador, salute, fam. Shout out to Harvey. Dropping that half for bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Hey, what to say, Harvey? Harvey say everyone need not to support the BS monetarily, thinking the people will fall for anything. I mean, it's definitely WWE. And as I said before, like once these guys get involved in the business aspect of boxing, you can tell like You could tell what's going on. I'm like, dude, when you was a fighter, you said this what you said when you was a fighter. This is your mentality when you was a fighter. But now you're not a fighter anymore, and you are on the corporate side of boxing. You are on the reporting side of boxing. Bro, you sound totally different than you were as a fighter. And then what it is these guys, they can't say, a lot of them can't say what they want to say. I'm telling you, they can't say what they want to say, bro. I'm telling you what the fuck I know. And if they really feel that way, it's bad. It's a shame. Because my question would be, when you was a fighter, this what you said, and this how you moved. Why, now that you're not a fighter and you're retired and you're working for a network, why are you saying something totally different now than what you said when you was a fighter? Like, what happened? What changed? What's the difference? They'll never interview with me.
True.
And you know why? Now y'all see why. Because just that question right there. So you know they got their token Negroes that they're going to go to. They got their tokens that they're going to go to. So you know who is who. Because, okay, this guy getting all of this guy getting that, this guy getting that. So those are the ones that's on the preferred list. So, motherfucker like me, I work around it. That's why you got to be the talent yourself. See, me, I'm the talent. And so the people come to see me. You see what I'm saying? And so I got some good advice from Steve Kim. And yeah, I want to say Steve Kim. I got some good advice from Steve Kim. Steve Kim told me, because I asked him for some advice. He said, you know what, coach, you know what you need to do? He said, man, just continue to do what you're doing. Stay focused on what you're doing. And don't even try to get involved with, the corporate America aspect of boxing. You on the right path. The shit ain't what you think it is. You get what I'm saying? He said the shit ain't what you think. He didn't say shit, but he says not really what you think it is. The shit overrated. Right now, man, just continue to do what you're doing. You built the platform on your own. You built your audience. You got people that are killed to try to do what you're doing. Because doing this is not easy. Coming on social media and then building a following. Starting from scratch. Motherfuckers ain't know who the fuck you were, and then building it up to where you at now. Like that's what influencers do. That's an influencer. Do you get what I'm saying? But you got to be good to know what the fuck you doing to do this shit. And you got to be consistent. One thing about me, I've been consistent since I started this channel. 3 o'clock, East Coast Standard Time. We've been doing this shit since 2021. It was still like COVID around that time. You get it? Was still kind of like around that time. Since 2021. And that's it. It's simple as that. I rock with those who rock with me. If you fuck with me, I'll fuck with you. If you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. It's simple. I don't try to go outside of that. Because I get it, I understand. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and it's non-personal. I get it. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna be the same man that I was raised to be from now until infinity. That's just the reality of the situation. Because I don't know how to be anyone else. I don't. I don't. Shout out to Mr. Classic Metal. Hey, okay. Jumping out $2 super chat. He said, greetings from overseas to Blood Boston. Yes, sir, man. Hey, man, y'all know what time it is, man. Hey, man, I want to dedicate this show to the hood.
I want to thank the whole hood who came out here. I love y'all. I did this for the hood. Y'all know I beat that boy.
Yeah, I'm just going to stand on my square, do what I've been doing, dog. With the content going to be fire. I got some new stuff coming work that I'm building right now for you guys. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, boy, I'm really excited about it. I got some new stuff I'm doing, and it's like, man, that's just what it is, bro. We finna take it to another level. I'm not at liberty to say because I don't want to talk about it. Because, I want no motherfucker trying to steal my ideas and shit and whatever. So I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to give everybody a shout out, man. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just the reality of the situation, bro. I mean, this is just where we at. Shout out to the lovers. Shout out to the lovers out there, man.
Make it last. Make it last forever. Don't let I love me.
Oh, I gotta show y'all this here. Cause a lot, as I say, they talk about Floyd. Floyd did this. Floyd, we following the Floyd green print. Okay.
When I fought Oscar De La Hoya, everyone wants to know what is the A side and the B side. Oscar De La Hoya did make more money for that fight because he's the A side, and I had to respect it. He chose the weight. He chose the gloves. He chose the arena. Basically, he chose everything. All I had to do was show up. He chose the judges. He chose the referee. And my job was to show up as the B-side, do what I have to do so I can become the A-side and call those same shots that Oscar De La Hoya called when we faced each other.
How bad did you want that fight at that particular time? I mean, I don't remember, a lot of times you hear, there's a hang up in negotiations because of this, because of that. But when you fought Oscar De La Hoya, I don't remember, any issues. It seemed like you agreed to everything he wanted.
I agreed to everything Oscar De La Hoya wanted. Everything.
But you following Floyd. You following Floyd, though. See, y'all want to pick and choose when you want to follow Floyd. You want Floyd Mayweather praise and money, but you don't want to go through the pretty boy Floyd phase. You don't want to make the sacrifices. You got a $900,000 nigga talking about $3 million is a low ball offer from his own promotional company. Then he blames the fighter that he quote unquote wants to fight, the fighter that you moved up in weight to fight. So this lie, I woke up one day, I was at 147. You niggas just lie like a rug. You didn't want that fight. You didn't have no confidence in yourself. You can wolf, you can buck your eyeballs out like Chicken George, but you didn't want that fight. You can scream belt the ass. You can have all these niggas co-signing you, stamping you. The reality of the situation is, I don't give a fuck what the stamp say, the people who stamping you. I know what I'm seeing. And I use your words against you. You ain't that, brother. You not that. You ain't have no confidence. Y'all were trying to trick Devin Haney to drop his belt and created a lie, which is a false narrative. Yeah, he gonna drop the belt because he's scared to fight Key. Y'all tried to make Keyshawn this boogeyman that he's not. He got a lot more work to do to become a boogeyman. Boogeymen don't move like that. You asked for the first bid and you rejected $3 million when you was a $900,000, $1 million fighting ass nigga. So the only logical explanation is this. You ain't want that fight. You weren't confident. You ain't want to get beat by the Silver Spoon kid, the Chinny kid, the Henderson, Nevada kid. Yeah, that dude right there was going to whoop your ass. You probably felt that. Now, I'm not saying he was going to whoop you because I don't know. I think highly of Keyshawn Davis' skills, from a skill standpoint. But what I think don't matter. Apparently, the way you moved, you knew. You can fool the public. You can fool these simpletons on Twitter and on YouTube. You can fool them, but your actions show me, that nigga went. Yeah, he went. Yeah, he went what I thought he was, dog. He went what I thought he was. I thought you was something you wasn't. I was fooled myself. But unlike my predecessors, I'm man enough to admit I was wrong. You wasn't that. You was never that. You might be that later on, but you're not that. You ain't ready yet. And I think it's obvious. Let's give everybody a round of applause.
True.
Hey, man, drop the name in the city where you from. I'm going to give everybody a shout out right after these messages. Let's give a shout out, man. Where you from? Y'all let me know where you from. Let's see what we got. Shout out to H-Town. H-Town down. Shout out to Maryland. Hey, shout out to Nikki. I meant to give you a shout out earlier. Shout out to Nikki from Maryland. We got my main man, G5 from the Bronx. Dre Day, man, San Diego, California. Salute, brother. Shout out to Hanoi, Vietnam. Grip, what's going on, baby? Vietnam in this bitch. I ain't seen you in a long time, brother. Shout out to Toxic Liverpool. Shout out to we got the boogie down already. Shout out to Detroit, Michigan. D-Town in this bitch. Shout out to the 808, man, Honolulu, Hawaii. Shout out to the big city, man, New York, big city of dreams. Everything in New York ain't always what it seems. You might get food if you come from out of town, but I'm down by law and I'm from the dog pound. Hey, anyway, it's all like that. Hey, shout out to Fayetteville, North Carolina. Shout out to Milwaukee. Old Town in this BI. Old Town, that's Orlando, Florida. Shout out to the Bay, man, the Bay Area, man. They called it the Yay area. Shout out to San Diego, California. Orderly in this BI. He said, Orderly, coach. Salute, AJA. Salute, fam. B More in this BI. Shout out to B More. You know, one of my favorite fighters out of Baltimore was Joe Gans. And I think Joe Gans from Baltimore. And Dwight Muhammad Okwai. I think he was from Baltimore. No, you know what? I think he was born in Camden, New Jersey. Was he born in Camden? He's either from Camden or Baltimore. I want to say Baltimore. Or he could have been born in Camden or something when he was little and moved to Baltimore. I'm not sure, but he was one of that dude, RIP to him. I think he passed away like last year. Yeah, last year. Shout out to Seaside, California. Shout out to the Netherlands. We got the Netherlands. Who else we got? Shout out to Brixton. We got London, man. We got Brixton in this bitch. The Bricks. We got the Bricks. We got, who else we got? We got the Bricks. We got the Bronx. We got San Diego. We had Vietnam. Shout out to the DMB. The DMB in this BI. Shout out to Chester, PA. Hey, what to say, fam? He's from Camden? Okay, he's from Camden. Okay, yeah, I knew it was. I'm like, damn, was he from Camden or? Well, I'm trying. You know what I mean? But I thought he grew up in Baltimore too. I thought he grew up in Baltimore as well. But I shout out to Miss Sheila, man, Houston. He say Dwight from B-More. You know what? I think he's from one of those cities and he ended up moving to the other city. For sure. All boys to the side. It was either Camden and he moved to B-More or B-More and he moved to Camden. I'm not sure. I always get it confused because it's been so long. Shout out to the ATL. Shout out to Harlem. I think that's it, man. I think I got everybody, man. If I didn't get you, man, I'm trying to get some more. People. All right, cool. Look like that's it. So yeah, shout out to Rhode Island, man. Bruce Gas in this BI. Oh, we can't forget about, man, Blood Bossing, man. Blood Bossing, man, from Gainesville, man. Gainesville, that's my brother there, man. I fuss with blood. blood. No, when it comes to boxing, you know what shit. Shout out to all. Oh yeah, shout out to Steve Kim, man. Steve Kim. Shout out to Steve Kim. And let's give a shout out to everybody who called. Shout out to Raymond. Curtis from Long Beach. Shout out to Woody. Shout out to Jamie. Shout out to Coach Eddie. Shout out to Ant. Shout out to Derek from Florida. Yarmis. Shout out to Damian from B-More. Shout out to Choice from Oak Town. Blood Bossa from Gainesville. Give a shout out to all of the super chatters. Let's see. Shout out to, I don't know how to pronounce your name, brother. Oh yeah, shout out to Zepper. Shout out to Zepper. Salute to you, fam. Shout out to Zepper. Gold Rush. OBW Stretch. Who else we got? We got OBW Stretch. Shout out to Green Eyes P. Get over here. Shout out to Dark 80s Man. Rod. These are all the super chatters. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Levi. Harvey. Mr. Classic Metal. I'll catch you guys on the next one. You know my motto. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go. Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.